welcome to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for the 100% League tonight. Yes, I know from the absolute horror I can hear from the gas behind your devices that yes, unfortunately you got this ginger fool tonight. Alex has stepped in and has decided to try, oh dear, as Dan Murphy is trying his best, Mazepin impression there. Did Mazepin go down the escape road one time in Azerbaijan? Potentially. But yeah, Dan Murphy is, I think he's parked the car, has he? Oh dear. So yeah, I think that Murphy has been disqualified. You can't park there, sir, which is unfortunate, isn't it? On board then with Jinner. I'm on the ALR ALR gamer account. Is it a gamer account? I'm not too sure. But whatever it is, yes, I'm on the I think I'm on the ALR account, and I gotta say, I've never actually heard the Formula One music menu until tonight, so that was pretty. I was having the reason why I'm late is because I was having a proper disco. Right, we're just watching Jinner then coming down the start-finish straight, and of course around this historic circuit, and we're on board now with the Alpine of Jinner, who's of course. Remember last night he homed in on the championship leader Dynamo Dan in bronze. However, this is a different discipline tonight. Oh, I love the helmet, Jinner. That's fantastic helmet design. That is a splendid. That's a splendid skid lid if I ever seen one. Anyway, yes, Alex has stepped in to do the thing that he does enjoy quite a lot on this game, which is doing the 100% discipline of Formula One league racing. We don't get to see much of the 100% league races around other leagues then, so it's a very unique event that ALR puts on midweek as well then to keep your, just to keep you guys going really, and I hope you've all had a lovely midweek. I did, up until where the bus broke down, and unfortunately and Jinner's in the wall, goodness me, and oh dear, so Jinner has smacked the barrier quite heavily there, and that is surely an end plate gone. Look at how narrow it is into turn 8 there, unfortunately for Jinner's point of view, and that is a major blow there for Jinner, unfortunately. I love the helmet, by the way, that's a fantastic helmet, but unfortunately for Jinner, that is not what he wanted to see at all, really, was it? So Jinner, who will go fast as if he completes this time there. Remember that this qualifying, it's a short qualifying session there, 18 minutes. Or well, we've only got 14 minutes left in the session. 14, I say. My goodness me, Jinner is absolutely throwing caution to the wind here, isn't he? As he's not too concerned about the chassis on that on the French Alpine car, but he has had enough there. He is coming to the pits. They're doing a bit of ricochet in there, wasn't he? KD has gone fast in the Aston Martin. Good some deed there for KD in car 13 in the Aston Martin. Well, you got McLaren of Kaidao, who's done very well in this year's 100% league. As we go for the championship in just a jiffy. DRS right on the money then, of course. So what are we expecting here tonight? Well, I'm expecting absolute anarchy, to be fair. I'm expecting the safety cars. I am expecting everything. Maybe even a spot of rain or two as well, albeit we've never had rain in the real race of Azerbaijan. We've had a couple of wet affected races in the league race. There's Equetels going for second fastest now. So this first qualifying session, there's Kiki coming across the line. I was too slow for Kiki in the Ferrari, going third fastest. What I do like about the 100% league, then as I start to waffle on about all kinds of nonsense, I like it how we got a mixed bag of gold, silver, bronze, and a couple of drivers who specialises in the 100% event as well. Of course, we'll talk about those drivers in just a jiffy, and we've got a debutant here tonight, and it's Bacardi. I hope I pronounced that right. I apologise if I don't then, but it is Bacardi who is in the Alpine there, and of course, how do I know? Why do I pronounce like that? Because I am a raging alcoholic. Of course, I'm not. Well, I tried. I don't think I am anyway. But I definitely am a raging F1-aholic, if that's a word it is now. Anyway, but yeah, Bacardi then is 9th at the moment. And we got Swanshank going at 6th fast then in the Alfa Romeo. I'm sure we had. I'm just going to take a look down. We do have. Well, we used to have a couple of special 100%ers, but they're not in here tonight by the looks of things. Oh, Sick as Muck has parked the car oh dear, is he doing a 3-point turn now? Is Sick as Muck? Well, it's actually a 2-point turn now, isn't it? He comes back on to the circuit. Then we're going to stick with Bacardi because I do like it when we get new drivers in the in ALR, and I do really look forward to seeing what they can do then. And I have really ignored you in the comments then, which is shame on me, isn't it? Nosy, hello from the other side, Sean. Big up, Sean Meek on comms box again, legend. To be honest, yeah, I offered to be a co-commentator with Alex. Like, firstly, I thought it'd be a bit of fun, and especially as well, to us, I think it's probably me because I just wanted to wind up Alex, to be honest, in the comms box, which he would have probably kicked me out before we even got to lap 20. Into the pits comes Bacardi, so he's had enough of that. But Alex, but of course, I think that it was a great opportunity for Alex to do what he does best, which is racing 100%. He's very good at 100%, isn't he? Is Alex, and of course, it is, as I said, it's a specialist discipline. Vintage is in the wall, and that is not that's not a specialist discipline at all. Unfortunately, vintage. I think he may have damaged the car. So yeah, Alex, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do tonight in the 100%. And really for Alex, and so hopefully, I reckon he should get on the podium. Really. No pressure there. We've also got Kaz saying hello and good luck. Good evening to you, Kaz. And it's great to see Kaz out there in the Ferrari as well. Last week was the first time that Kaz had missed a race in a week. Then missed Kaz in a Grand Prix this season. Was the last week there for Kaz, unfortunately. But it's great to see him back in this week. Then Vintage we're sticking with now. Serious Russian, evening Ginger. Good evening to you, Serious Russian. Troy, big up Mushroom, Bacardi, and Alpha Tower boys. Of course, Troy wants that 100%, 90%, the Joint Constructors Championship, which is a part of the 100% championship, which of course Immortal has stormed to the championship as he is now the world champion, isn't he, of the 100% league, the first ever world champion as well in the as ALR presents 100%. So fantastic stuff indeed. He's absolutely dominated, hasn't he, Immortal, as he's been magnificent. He really has indeed. Then that Hungarian Grand Prix that I commentated on a few weeks ago, quite a while ago now actually, I think that just made me stand up and really pay attention. I was talking about Alex being a 100% specialist. Definitely Immortal is one of those drivers as well, as Kaz goes through one of the most narrowest parts of the circuit, and one of the most narrowest turns in all of Formula 1 as well. As Jenna going at 4th fastest there that time around. It was a bit more cleaner than his first one. Was there goes Kaz, and he breezes past me, almost took my toupee off there. Kiki should do a double comms on Tuesday for a Bronze League then. We should indeed, shouldn't we there? But to be honest, at the moment, my setup is a bit rubbish, to be honest. Because the way I have to set it up at the moment is, unfortunately, I have to have it coming through the TV, which is a bit rubbish. I need to work out how to do it. Alex has worked out how to do it, but obviously, I haven't at the moment. And there you go then. Yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't mind doing dub commentary on a Tuesday. That'd be very good indeed, wouldn't it? And we can have a natter about all kinds of weird and wonderful things. Cheers, Russia. Evening, Troy. Evening, Goat. Then Sweden, as it knows, it said meatballs. Troy says that. Volvo, I'm not even going to pronounce that. Nikki Tim, possibly. Zlatan, IKEA, Snow, and Zlatan the Goat. Best Swedish player in all of soccer or football, as we like to say over here, potentially, or is it Mr. Flo? But what's his name? Andreas Flo, was not so. Didn't he play for Chelsea many moons ago? Then was he Swedish or was he Norwegian? Was he Norwegian actually? Oh goodness me! Now I've started it really badly. I'm not here. Gamer on a lap. Then we're just gonna we're just having a look at where Bacardi was. Bacardi is just behind a Gamer at the moment now, and it was just watching Gamer then, who's coming into the second part of the circuit, and there he is. He's gone purple in the first sector. Andrea Flo was Norwegian. Laugh out loud, damn it. There you go. That's why. Yeah, but I'm not an expert in infield really, but especially not football. But I did like Flo. I don't know why. I always used to. I took a shine to Flo. It's like Good Johnson as well. You would think I'm a closet Chelsea fan, to be honest, which I would say this is probably the worst time to come out as a Chelsea fan. It's certainly not a very good season, is it, for them? But no, I also like Good Johnson as well, to be fair. They had some they had some amazing ballers, didn't they, back in the day? Did you not just say soccer as a Brit then? Finn is the second best driver after Troy the GOAT then. Oh, goodness me. Soccer! Ida Gudjonsson was a god. He was. I liked Gudjonsson. I think he was very underrated as well. Another man I liked was Damien Duff. I thought he was brilliant. Not because he was named after the Duff beer off The Simpsons, but because I thought he was a cracking winger. And Joe Cole as well when he was in his prime at Chelsea. Great stuff indeed. We've got an Aston Martin 1-2 here. Aston Martin, remember, are starting to really claw up the order now in the joint constructors. Bacardi going 8 fast as well. One of Troy's men's one of Troy's drivers that he's keeping an eye on in this Grand Prix tonight. Sickers is staying on to the hard medium tyre tonight. With it being a 100% race, I don't really know what's going to happen in terms of strategy. Then again, you could say that about the 50% race as well, really, because I never know what goes on in those races either. But I think that do you think it's going to be a 2-stopper tonight, or do you reckon it's going to be a straightforward 1-stopper? I like a good Johnson. Oh goodness gracious me, Sarah Smasher. Keep it PG. We haven't gone past the watershed yet. Good gosh there. Especially on a Wednesday as well. But then again, I'm sure that the watershed probably opens a bit earlier on, doesn't it? Oh no, it probably doesn't actually, so it's Wednesday. For some reason I thought it was Thursday all of a sudden. And into the pits now comes Sickers Monk, so he's had enough of that. Just going to stick with Vintage for the minute then, as he is coming through the chicane. Flicking past me as well. Lovely stuff indeed then for Vintage. And of course, we're here in Azerbaijan. The reason why we're here in Azerbaijan, for anyone who is new to the 100% League, welcome. So the 100% League does exactly what it says. Tim, we're going to have a bit of short quali. So we've got a Ferrari off as well, and that's a Kiki who has spun at turn 2, and he's damaged the. I assume that's Kiki's wing there. It looked like a black wing there, so I think that Kiki's had issues as well. The Reflections has retired from the session, and we've also got an Aston Martin Crown as well. We're sticking with Vintage for the moment. He has not set a time on the board yet. Both Aston Martins currently is first and second in this one at the moment. 2-stopper minimum, Sean. Pit lane is so short. Hang on, I'll go get this heart out of the way. How do I get the heart out of the way? Anyways, so you only lose about 18 seconds. Thank you very much, Troy. I think the more pit stops, the better. I heard on a where did I hear it? I don't know. 5 stops for me. So it's Russian saying, oh goodness me, we're going back to the Spanish Grand Prix in 2013. There were so many pit stops that day, wasn't it? Of course, remember that Mercedes had a 1-2 after that qualifying session. Then in the race, they just kept eating their tyres alive, didn't they? I think Hamilton finished 12th when he started second, and Rosberg, who fared slightly better, I say only slightly better, finished 6th position in the end. I mean, that's not what you expect in a Spanish Grand Prix when you start first and second there. Here comes Swanshanks. Talking of Hamilton, he's stolen his number, hasn't he? Goodness gracious me, Swanshanks. Give that back. But he's got number 44. Swanshanks has in the Alfa Romeo. Of course, Alfa Romeo will be coming the Audi team from 2026 there, possibly even earlier on, but they return to the Sauber name from 24, and oh goodness me, and that's a spin there for Swanshanks. He's not going to be concerned about if they're called Alfa Romeo, Audi or Sauber at the moment. He's going to be more concerned about getting himself pointed in the right direction. Troy's predictions is 7 finishers tonight then. I think that if anyone finishes this race, then hats off to you, my good sir. As KD has just flown underneath me there. Goodness gracious me, give me a good old breeze up my kilt. KD then who just into turn number 3 now. You can see that in this part of the track here, because we're into like the old part of the city here in Baku. Of course, I'm sure it's the city of wind, the city of fire. The city of fire, as you can see with the flame-shaped buildings just in front of us. It's a beautiful city, isn't it? But we're in the old part of Baku at the moment. So this part of the circuit is going to be very difficult to warm up the hard or the medium compound tyres, and any tyres, to be honest, to be fair, isn't it there? But it's going to be very difficult around there, so you've really got to be active at the steering wheel, haven't you, around there? KD currently on pole position at the moment then in the Aston Martin, as we now dip down. I got to say, when I first drove this circuit in 2016 on the F1 2016 game, that this part of the circuit, the final 2 sectors on this circuit, really gave me the willies, is because I was absolutely scared stiff to go flat out around there, especially when he's on used tyres there. As I always used to clip the wall, and these drivers, if these drivers could go around 61 laps, isn't it, around here, I think, anyway. There's me not doing my homework. But if these drivers can do 61 laps and go for their full throttle, my goodness me, they've got some cojones on them. KD has gone to a 39.4, extending his pole position advantage by a couple of tenths of a second. Then here comes Kaida, who is on a who's just on an outlap, about to complete his outlap and go for a quick lap now. Nosy 9-stop around here, Troy. Knows the goat strat low. Haha. And hard soft is Serious Mushroom's strategy. If Serious Mushroom's got that many hard tires, then I want to have an inquest, please, because that is absolutely shocking. I'm sure you only allowed 1 or 2 sets of hard tires, aren't you? I'm sure it's only 1 set, to be honest. Vince is retired from the session. Oh, goodness me, we've got less than a minute to go then. As Kaz goes, actually goes slower on that lap then, so disappointing final sector from the Ferrari driver, and he'd be a bit disappointed about that then. Sick as Muck has found a 2.5 in the second split time. We have got the other Aston Martin then, who's just flown past me, but we're going to stick with Sick as Muck for the minute, and he is now coming up to the line. The line is a long way down there. I'm sure that this straight, isn't it like 1.8 kilometers or something like that? Across the line, and Sick as Muck goes 9th fastest there. What about the other Alfa Romeo? Found 3 tenths a second, 6 tenths a second. He goes 3rd fastest there. Good stuff indeed then. What about the second Ferrari? Well, it's actually Kiki I need to be looking at, and Kiki has gone half a second quicker in 6th position there. Good stuff indeed there for Kiki. Swan Shanks is a 2.5 down, unfortunately. Kaz on a lap at one there. Here comes KD, who is on an in-lap then after doing a quick lap just a few moments ago. What about the other McLaren? And Kaidal has found a 10th in the second split time. Here comes Kaidal now, and let's see what Kaidal can do then. I've got Chewy's tyres. He has, because I don't think Chewy's in this race, is he? So yes, he's got double the amount of tyres. That is why he's a very clever mushroom indeed then. Swan has retired from the session. Kaidal has just gone at full fastest there. Equals retired from this session as well. He is currently 3rd fastest at the moment. What about the 2 Alpine drivers? And Bacardi is in the pits then. So Jinner then, let's see what Jinner can do. He's found 4 tenths of a second. Is in the ballpark of Kiki here. Now let's see what Kiki can do. Sorry, what Jinner can do. And he goes 5th fastest out. He's in front of Kiki, and on the same row, Siege. Magnificent stuff indeed. As Kaz just letting the Aston Martin of Gamer by. Gamer's invalidated his time, so he is done then. So it's going to be KD on pole position then for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed there, as KD was already in the pits there, so we couldn't see him on street. Couldn't see him there, but he got his time done earlier on then. And I wonder if Gamer there unfortunately got tripped over another driver potentially, or did something else go a bit awry then. But whatever the case then, unfortunately Gamer couldn't challenge, and that means that would be KD's 2nd pole position of the season after what? I hear you ask. Well, I'm going to be honest, I can't remember. I think it's Saudi Arabia, isn't it? Yeah, so KD is very much a street fighter here, but that's Aston Martin's 3rd pole position of the season as well then, between KD and Gamer. Good stuff indeed then. And look at that, 3 tenths of seconds between KD and Gamer then on the front row. So 2 Aston Martins. Remember, in Hungary, they absolutely shot off there, but it's such a long race, as 100% is that is the key. It's 100% here tonight. So yes, it is not just a sprint or a middle distance, it's a marathon here tonight, but it's the 2 Aston Martins on the front row of the grid here in Azerbaijan. Hashtag Aston from Equals as well. Let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors, shall we, from the 100% then. Of course, Immortal already world champion then. He claimed it from Kaidal last week then. Kaidal is 2nd at the moment, but he's only 40 points in front of Gamer in 3rd position, and he starts 2nd at the moment and 2 positions in front, so that's going to get interesting. Reflections had a very strong season season, 100%. He is in 4th for the one there, 12 points behind Gamer. KD is flying, isn't he, in the last couple of races, 100%. He's now 10 points away from Reflections. Siege in 6th position there, 9 points away from KD, very close. And Serious Mushroom in 7th position beats one of the drivers who was a specialist in 100%. He has moved himself up into 8th position already. He's only had a couple of races. Acid Masters in 9th position. He won the did he win the opening race of the season? I think 100% this season. He's 9th for the moment. And Jinner in 10th position as well. In the Constructors' Championship, AlphaTauri leads the way, but Aston Martin's 1-2 in qualifying. It's certainly going to be concerning for the AlphaTauri, and Aston Martin would love to overhaul them in the Constructors' Championship, which is doable at the moment. It's only 29 points then. McLaren in 3rd, then 44 points away from Aston Martin. Red Bull are in 4th position. The Williams team are in 5th, with Mercedes 6th. Alpine is in 7th there. 2 points behind the Mercedes team, very close there. 8th position is the Haas team, with Ferrari in 9th, and Alfa Romeo completes the top 10 then in the championship. And now we are getting ready for the race itself then. I've only got 25% battery left then, which ain't going to be very good, is it? Goodness gracious me. Serious Mushroom, I'm too far behind, didn't I? Yeah, just asked, no stream. Nope, this silly ginger was too late. My bus broke down. So there's me like, oh, you look at all fire daddy as well. What made it worse is that I caught a later bus tonight as well, because I was quite cool about it. So I decided to go and have like a I decided to go and have a roast at my like a midweek roast at my sister's, and unfortunately the bus that I was going to catch unfortunately broke down. So I was like, oh blimey. So yes, so that's what you get then. Of course, no backup plan. Then there you go then. But never mind. I'm here now. Unfortunately for you guys, and who probably wanted more in-depth analysis of the 100%. I'm not an expert on 100% whatsoever, but I'll try my best for you. But I'll try I certainly will try. I always try my best for you guys, but this is going to be very testing for me tonight. It's 51 laps, not 61, so I've plus 10 more laps on this race. But to remember, the reason why we've got Azerbaijan here tonight is because the 100% League also follows, or tries to follow, or match as closely with the real calendar of Formula 1. And remember that Azerbaijan, of course, F1 is finally back on the weekend. They're having a sprint race, which, remember, me and Acid Masters were on a good old chinwag about that last night. Of course, I'm not a fan of these sprint races, but I do like this format a lot better than the last couple of seasons' format in the sprint. But it's going to get very interesting indeed then. But Acid Masters is a big fan. I'm not so much. But, of course, I'd like to hear your views as well on 100% later on then. But, yeah, it's 51 laps around here, not 61 like I first thought it was. Shocking behaviour by myself. This is quite a average high-speed circuit, but I am expecting a lot of safety cars in this one, because this one's a brutal race. Let's go through the bridge from the back then. I hope you found enough of me nattering about all kinds of nonsense. Let's get on with the racing, shall we? It is KD pole position for the second time this season in 100%. Gamer is in second position. Equals in third position. Super sub tonight then for the Alfa Romeo of Beats. Then fourth position is Kai Dao, who's done a great season in 100%. He's another one of those drivers that specialises in the 100%, and you can tell that from his performance, consistency over the season. He's been magnificent. Kai Dao has. We've only one DNF. Oh, and, yeah, only one DNF, which was right back in Belgium, round 5. Jenner in 5th position there. He's on the hard tires. Everyone's so far. Oh, Ferrari's off in the background of Kiki. Siege in 6th position. Kiki 7th. Bacardi in 8th position. 9th position is Sick as Mug. Vintage in 10th. Kiki's having some major issues. Swan Shanks and Kaz 11th and 12th position. Serious Mushroom and the Mortal have come a bit too close there. Danny in the 50th position there, which I must say, Danny, I was absolutely fuming with you on Monday night or Tuesday, I think it was. No, I think it was Monday, wasn't it? No, it was. No, it was last night when we was doing the championship, because I realised you changed your name again. Shocking stuff indeed. We got Nolsey in 16th position, Reflection 17th, and Murphy forgot his car keys in 18th position there. But oh, I love Dan's helmet, fantastic. But I think that Murphy's going to be very happy that I'm commentating on his race tonight, because I'm sure he misses me, doesn't he? Lol. Serious Mushroom, what was that? Mortal did go A, he went sorry, as I think that there's something went wrong for Mortal, the championship leader. I think that that's one of his only blemishes this season in ALR. And goodness me, those lights are loud, but here we go then, lights out, then I've got a rubbish camera angle, and it's go here in Baku. We've got a lot of mixture of equals is stormed through and past both the Aston Martins into turn 1, magnificent start, and that Alpine is looking very wayward on the old rear, but Katie's had an appalling start. He's gone from first to third here. Oh my goodness me, it's getting very rough and tough there, and that's McLaren. It's Kydal who's been so, who's been very much Mr. Consistent this season, but he's down at the back of the field already in this race, and cars all over the show. And we go down into the big breaking point of turn to 3. Swanshank's getting past Murphy up into 12th position there. Make that 11th position now. It's Ferrari has gone right to the back. Kiki has gone right to the back of that Mercedes, and there's cars all over the show. And a messy start, and we got 3 abreast here. They go, oh gosh, I'm concerned about this. It's very much one after the other, and there's more contact here. A very interesting start here in Baku. My goodness gracious me, and very messy indeed then. There's 51 laps around here. Usually we only have 26 in the standard league racing format. However, tonight it's very much not after you, sir, but a bit of wheel-to-wheel action there. We like wheel-to-wheel, but that was a bit too close, I think, for a lot of drivers there. Murphy up 9 positions already. Kydal down 13 positions. He's down in 17th position at this moment in time as we come up to complete lap 1 here in Baku. And E-Cross has just stormed through, taking the lead then, and is now already out of DRS. KD, the pole sitter, has lost a position already. And Siege, oh no, he is out already. And Siege there has gone off in the fast part of the circuit. Williams' car is screwed across the circuit. And goodness gracious me, that is not a safety car, I don't think, as Vintage has lost that as well. Serious Mushroom losing out to Kydal. There's Vintage down in 10th position there, but Siege out of the race before he even completed lap 1. Is there going to be any pit stoppers there? We did have a lot of contact on the opening lap here, but everyone has made it through apart from that McLaren of Kydal, who almost is in the wall again there, but he's kept it going, and in 15th position. Kaz is yellow flag out there. What's happened? What's happening? It's KD. KD is down in 4. He's lost a hold of the wing in the Aston Martin. Oh my golly gosh, KD has lost a hold of the wing here on the Aston Martin. And that is a big blow indeed. The pole sitter has had a nightmare start. Now, it's really, in this scenario, KD doing a very sportsmanlike thing here and getting out of the way. Lovely stuff indeed. I wouldn't do that, but that's why I'm not allowed on the track anymore. Of course, ALR does pride themselves on a very clean and clean drivers there. That's why I'm not allowed on the track anymore, because I'm anything but clean. You would say that I need to go and have a bath. However, KD there has lost all the wing, and that's the pole sitter on a nightmare race. But this is only lap 2 out of 51 here. Then remember that the format in 100% is different. So with a nightmare start, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter, but you've got so much time to gain up. But look at the gap. It's already 5 seconds between first and second there. Yellow flag in the background is Serious Mushroom. Has gone off at turn 15, I think that is, or turn 6. It's turn 15 now. He's recovered now, but we've also got yellow flags in front of us, had we there? I think that might have been just clearing up Serious Mushroom's debris there into the pits. Now comes KD after, unfortunately, having some issues there. Danny moved his way up into a 9th position as well. Goodness me, I've got a server error there. That's not good. Danny moved himself up into 7th position, and Kaz down in 8th. But into the pits comes the pole sitter KD. So an absolutely appalling start in this Grand Prix thus far. But we have got a long way to go in this one, haven't we, there? As I keep mentioning that then. So only 1 pit stop so far then, and KD now going onto the medium compound tyres then before he gets back out in the race tonight. And I think we've got a big old game one tonight. So that's Man City take on Arsenal. Take on Arsenal there. So good stuff for that'll be interesting as well. So I'll keep an eye on that. Immortal, remember that even Immortal has not had the most spectacular starts here tonight, but I think Immortal really comes alive in the second half of the 100% races there. So yes, only lap 3. You can never count out the champion here. Immortal, the first ever world champion of 100% now, who's a mammoth 157 points in front. We've only got 156 left up for grabs this season. There's no sprint race in the 100% either. So yes, there's that nosy all over the back of Vintage. Well, now unfortunately Vintage may have had some damage. There was a couple of scuffles he had earlier on this race, but he's okay at the moment. Nosy, another driver who is pretty adept in the 100% now. And of course, him and Murphy are in the Red Bull team at the moment, and they're looking very strong indeed. Then we're on board now with Knowles, then as we come down into the final part of the lap. Then reflections are all over the gearbox of the Ferrari cars. Let's take a look at the tyre strategy, because I forgot to go through that in the opening formation lap, which is shocking stuff, really, isn't it? Soft tyres for both these two drivers. Everyone else did start on medium or hard tyres. Hard tyres for Ginner and Bacardi in the two Alpines. And look at this, and Kaz he's going to try and defend that, but with DRS it's very difficult to defend on this circuit when the car behind you is that much quicker then. But yes, reflections now up into not 8th position, but reflections, another specialist there. Knowlesy almost into the wall there. Into the pits comes Swanshanks, only 2 laps then after. Oh goodness gracious me then. I'm very close between Sickersmug and Immortal there, but Sickersmug has lost the position unfortunately to Immortal, and now Immortal back up into 13th position there. It's been a tough old start then, but I think that we've got a bit of a queue forming, haven't we, behind the two Alpines here, but they're both on hard tyres. There they are. And then you'll see beyond we got Kiki, then we got Murphy, and then we got Danny, who's about 3 seconds back actually. They look a bit more condensed on the map than they actually are on the track here. Reflections followed by Kaz, followed by Nosy. 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 And then we got Vintage and Kaidal in 11th and 12th position. Going into the turn 8 there, and of course that was where the infamous I am stupid came from Charles Leclerc back in 2019 when he was so quick, wasn't he? He would have got pole position that day, I would hazard a guess then. Now watching that Knowlesy back on board with him now, then of course as I mentioned that he is a specialist in 100%, isn't he? And I'm sure that he'll be thriving. Oh, Kaz is not though. Yellow. Oh gosh, we got Bacardi is facing the wrong way. Lovely. I got to say that's a very beautiful spin there. But has he got damage? I think he has. There's no front wing by the looks of that. He hasn't got a front wing. And Knowlesy there, who's just watched him there, just taking it easy there. But that is a big blow. There's one of the Alpines there out, well, not on the race there, but out of contention here for the minute or two. Down in 12th position now, unfortunately, for Bacardi, and he is coming into the pits. And Kaz also in the pits as well, as the soft tyres only lasted 3 laps there. Knowlesy's dropping down a couple of positions there. Goodness gracious me there. As Knowlesy, I'm not sure if he's out initially, but Kaidal's in front of him now. KD is set to fast up the race. He's lining up the timing sheets now. KD is there in 14th position. A long way to go still. And look at this, and Kaidal, who of course who's been so good this season, and of course second in the championship. Well, he's got an almighty scrap between himself and the Aston Martins. Both McLarens have in terms of fighting for second and third in the championship. Then of course no driver wants to fight for second and third then, but I think it's about pride now, isn't it? With the championship already won there by Immortal, then with still with about I think it's about 7 races to go then, almost equaling the record of Emerson, which I think won the championship with quite a number of races to go, wasn't it? I'll have to get that book out, that stat book out later on, and just find out what that is. I'm also back into 10th. He's so quick, isn't he? Also, is that because I'm sure only a lap or two ago, because we're only on lap 5 here. I'm sure a lap or two ago, then he was facing the wrong way, wasn't he? He was down the escape road. It was all going peak tong, and now all of a sudden he's back up in the 10th position on the hard compound tyres. Then Immortal is as well. And Geeky is very close to Jinner. He isn't. He's past Jinner. Moves it. Oh, he's in the wall though. Geeky is. That's a big old bike on the barrier. And here comes Cardell's off the circuit in turn 16. And we got wheel to wheel contact with the Ferrari and the Alpine now, whilst Murphy blasts past. Jinner's in the pits. I thought that would have been the Ferrari that would be coming into the pits. I'm sure it's the Ferrari that took a bite out of the wall. Oh, and Kiki's in the wall again then, and that's the whole of the wing gone, surely. No, they're not. They build them strong in Maranello, don't they? But that is a big blow for Jinner. And both Alpines looking strong in third and fourth a couple of laps ago. Now down in 11th position, and that could get even worse. It has got even worse. Kaidal also in the pits as well after his escapades. And yes, now Alpine's down in 13th and 15th position then, as Bacardi should get out in front of Kaidal here. Kaidal is still stationary at the moment, and it's the McLaren have finally got himself, finally got the car off the jacks, and then he's coming out of the pits now on the hard tyres. We are expecting two-stop strategy. That's what Troy said in the comment section. So if I am wrong, blame Troy then. But of course, I can't really blame Troy all the time. KK off the circuit, and my word, he's having a very adventurous lap 6 here, isn't he? Kiki is there, but he needs to keep that car going. He's got a long way to go in this one. Soft tyres is on. Soft tyres on. Reflections made his way up into 5th position now. Reflections has. Kiki's off again, and I think the tyres are just screaming hot at this stage. And Murphy has made his way up into 3rd position. Murphy has flown through the field quite quickly already in this one. Then, but Kiki has now is hopefully needs to just make sure that the car just doesn't spin again. Excuse me. And I'm sure that Kiki's been the wall a couple of times. I'm surprised he hasn't come to the pitch yet. That Ferrari is very robust, isn't it, to say the least. Mortal very close to the back of Nosey here. Then I love this helicopter shot. It's absolutely beautiful as we see the incredible machines of Formula One surrounded by the historic and also modern buildings of Baku. It's beautiful, isn't it? The Mortal's also going to find that very beautiful indeed. Then as he is now through it up into 6th position there. Immortal is, and I think that the two out in front of him, there's 12 seconds in front of Murphy, but I think they're going to be quite disappointed or disheartened to see that Immortal's already back up into 6th position when they probably was hearing that he was having a couple of issues then, but all of a sudden he's really turned this race around, hasn't he? Out of the pits now comes Kiki. Kaz is through, and Bacardi is through as well. They're on the medium tyres, and so Kiki has gone to hard for now. Kaidao is just going to be behind us, as is Swan Shanks as well, but they're all on the hard tyres, so they're going for the long stint here, and everyone else in is just a bit further back at the moment, and so just going to stick with Bacardi and Kaz as they come in to turn 3. Kaz looked like he was going very deep there, but maybe that was just the trick of the light. Then on board now with Bacardi in the Alpine machine. Kaz is just in front of us, 14 seconds up the road is Sirius Mushroom on the hard tyres. Sirius Mushroom is the last runner not to pit at the moment. The highest runner to pit is KD. Remember, he was the pole sitter. He has made his way very nicely up into 10th position now on those medium compound tyres as well, KD has said. So let's see where it gets to then. As I said, we ain't even, we're nowhere near half distance. We ain't even at a quarter distance yet in this Grand Prix. This is a brutal one indeed, then, isn't it? I don't remember retirement has siege out the race already, as Kiki has had issues in the Ferrari. Has he damaged the wing then? We got, he has. Oh, and he's off again, and that's, I think he's probably damaged the rear now as well in that Ferrari. It's a nightmare as Kaz done a horrific run out of turn 15 now. Of course, turn 15 is legendary or infamous in some parts of the world then for the Hamilton and Vettel incident in 2017, of course, where Vettel was convinced that Hamilton brake tested him, and then Vettel went up alongside and gave Lewis's Mercedes a bit of a nudge there, didn't he? So the Mercedes are on board with a 2022 Mercedes now with Seger's Mark. Well, not as Seger's Mark powers past the Williams machine up into 8th position there. Jobs are good, and KD has been catched on those drivers quite quickly, and I think that's why Seger's Mark had to decide to have to put the toe down ever so slightly, because Vintage is struggling for pace at the moment in this stage of proceedings as we go over the curves and out of the shade and into the sunshine of Baku. Then, of course, I think this is the only race where we're actually below sea level, I think, then. And look at the oh, who's that? That's Vintage off the circuit. I wonder if he was looking in his wing mirrors there, and unfortunately he was caught there. I think he was caught starglazing there and just went off the runoff area, unfortunately, and dropped down into 11th position. Serious Rush is going to get very interesting. Kiki in the pits again, unfortunately. I think he's also a lap down now, unfortunately. Kiki is on board with Jinan. He's having a look, and I think at the moment it was a kiss on the outside barrier then. For Jinan, that shouldn't cause any other damage for the Alpine. Now, you see what he's doing here then. Jinan is just trying to weave into the wing mirrors of KD, and he's trying to distract KD. KD, you're going to need a lot more than that to distract KD. But Jinan is definitely giving him feeling a very mischievous move then. Here comes KD, who is now through, passes Seger's Mark, moves himself up into 9th position then. Remember, that Sickles Mug is on the hard tyre then, and he is going to go very deep into this race there. These drivers that are overtaking at the moment that are on the medium compound tyres. A lovely on-board footage here as we got more yellow flags in sector 2, and I think it's the Kiki just get out of the way. It's a good stuff indeed there for Kiki. Brilliant as Jinner is all over the back of the Mercedes of Sickles Mug. Then we got a bit of a rubbish camera angle there. That's better, but Sickles Mug there has kept his position there and kept Jinner at bay then. Going on the outside. Oh, he's got very deep then. But I think that was Sickles Mug there trying to stop the momentum of Jinner there, but unfortunately couldn't. Jinner's on quicker tires at the moment, but Sickles Mug is not going to let him just waltz past his there. You got to earn your position when you can try to get past Sickles Mug. Great battling there. I love it. Now Jinner can keep after KD. He's currently got 3 lap younger tires than KD at the moment. KD came to the pits quite early on in this race. Now we've got Immortals all over the back of these soft shod Reflections, who is about 9 seconds adrift of Danny, who's in 4th position. And look at this, we got Val for the lead here, and Gamer is through and up into second position. But here comes Equalizer. He's having a look into the second turn. Oh no, goodness me! I thought he was going to do a Raikkonen and Bottas there from 2017 or 18, I think it was. They got a bit too close for comfort today. As Mortal has blasted past Reflections. I think that the soft tires there are not going to be feeling very happy at this stage. He's done 10 laps on those soft tires there. I can see Reflections being into the pit in the not too distant future. Just watching Equals at the moment now, who has just lost the lead to Gamer here. Now what can Equals do then? Can he come back at him now? In the background, that's a Ferrari. That's not Kaz. That is Kiki, who's a lap down, unfortunately, in the Ferrari. But as we mentioned, this is only lap 10 in this one. Long way to go then. And Equals, so it's not going to have any of this. Then, is a gap between these two and Murphy is about 13 seconds. It's a massive gap here at the moment there, isn't it? Really impressive indeed. The nosy is all over the back now of Reflections, and Reflections on the soft tyre. We'll keep an eye on this, but I think the nose ain't going to be able to get past in this part of the circuit. You may have to wait until the DRS detection zone, which is coming up the exit of turn 16. And that is where the front runners are now, Equals and Gamer then. So now Equals has got the DRS, and goodness me, looking very wayward there was Equals, and I think that he must have had a bit of understeer there, which may have surprised him ever so slightly, and almost going into the wall there. We've already had Siege going into the wall there, haven't we? But at the moment it's status quo then. It's coming across the line now, about 6/10 of a second now. But Gamer, to me, that looks to me that Gamer's got a very quick and slippery motor car underneath him at the moment. Back on board with Knowles then has made his way up into a 6th position on board the Red Bull driver. Multiple Grand Prix winner in ALR, of course. Remember, he won 3 races in season 5, I think it was. When he was the early challenger for Emerson, before Emerson really took off, didn't he, in the end of that season. And then now Reflections has come into the pit lane now, and look at that, they're locking up both front tires. He doesn't need those tires anymore then, so he can treat them as nicely or as badly as he likes then. Locking them up, it's not going to help it. Wrong garage then, Mr. Director. And there we are, we're with the McLaren team now in 84, and now comes the pits. Out of the pits comes Reflections. He's going to get out in front of Vintage here. I don't think he is. There's the Williams there, just in the blue Williams there. Blast pass on the outside. There he goes then, but Reflects on the medium tires then, so I think that he will be doing at least one more stop in this race. Let's see how far these medium tires can go then. They've only done 10 laps so far, and I'm wondering now if McLaren and Reflections are going to be keeping an eye on for the runners there that started this race on the medium and the hard tires, because remember, Kai Dow is also on the hard tires at this moment in time, and he's done 5 laps, and so they're probably going to be mirroring now what the front runners do, and they will have younger tires as well. But I think that they'll probably want a safety car to really, if they want to get themselves back in this. And talking to Kaidao, he is through and passes cars, moves himself up into 14th position now. Kaidao, of course, Kaidao has been pretty impressive this season in the McLaren there. As of course, he is second in the World Championship run, but he's got an almighty fight between himself and the 2 Aston Martins to really keep that second position there, because Gamer and Katie are coming at him and his McLaren teammate Reflections at a right rate of knots. But the 2 McLarens are certainly up there for me for performance of the season in 100%. And of course, you cannot forget Immortal, the champion of course, who's been pretty immense, and actually right from the get-go. Just watching Equals here at the moment there down the back straight. Equals currently there's a close battle on track moment, but this is lap 12 of this race, and we're about a quarter way through it, give or take. You know that my maths is never great, but let's take stock, shall we? No soft tires out on circuit at the moment, but it's Gamer who leads the way. Second position is Equals, and we're watching this battle on circuit at the moment. Murphy has not got an answer to the front two at the moment there. He is being dropped still. The gap was quite big anyway, but by the time Murphy got up to third position, then it's 14 seconds now. He isn't being dropped too badly. I think drop is probably the wrong word there, but he is losing time in third position. Danny in fourth, doing a good job with Danny. It's in the second in the Mercedes. Immortal, goodness me, can't keep the champ down, can he? He's in fifth position there. Knowles, he made his way up to sixth as well. KD, the pole sitter, has had issues there. He's down in seventh position at the moment after having an adventurous start to this race, but he's the highest runner to pit then, as is Gino, the second highest runner to pit in eighth position in the Alpine car. Ninth position is Sick as Muck then. He is on the hard tires. We're expecting Sick as Muck to go an awful long way into this race. Same with Immortal as well, both on the hard tires then. Vintage in 10th position, 11th position Reflections. He has only just done a pit stop. That is the first scheduled pit stop, I believe, going from the soft to the medium tires. As we mentioned already, the McLaren are now going to be keeping an eye on the front runners to start on the medium tires and see what they can do from there. Serious Mushroom in 12th position. 13th is Bacardi, making his debut here tonight in ALR. He is now racing ALR until tonight then, and what a grueling trek to make his debut on. Fantastic. 14th position is Kaidal, 15th is Kaz with Swanshine, 16th in Kiki, having a bit of a nightmare race so far. However, he's now really got himself in the groove there, and look at that then. Kiki's pace then is quite similar to the drivers in front. Yes, he's on younger tyres, but he's doing a very good job to keep up with these drivers now. So now Kiki has calmed those tyre temperatures down, got into a groove. I think Kiki, if he can unlap himself, or keep to the back, near to the back of these drivers then, he might still be a thorn in the side of some drivers later on. That Bacardi has flown right to the back of Serious Mushroom, but Serious Mushroom is on different strides to the Bacardi then. But look at that then, Bacardi flying past the number 2 12th position. That Alpine Renault is very quick indeed. And of course, Alpine formerly known as Renault, but of course, if you've watched everyone for a long time, we also know them as Team Endstone. On board Serious Mushroom, love the helmet design. Then, of course, I like the chrome helmets there. One of my favourite chrome helmet I really liked was one Pablo Montoya's helmet. I think it was 2002 where he went to the chrome, wasn't it? Because he did have a white helmet in 2001. Oh, and Equals has got a bit too, it's gone the throttle when he was on the curb. I don't think that is going to damage the car too much there, but that is certainly going to unsettle the tyre temps, and that's certainly going to unsettle Equals' groove as well, I think, in this one, because that is not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. He is still in DRS though. You can see the titanium skid blocks there, absolutely lighting up the circuit end with the sparks there. Of course, we all love it. We all love some sparks, don't we? Especially in the mid-90s, sparks are certainly quite high on the agenda, wasn't it? Of course, if everyone remembers the 1991 Spanish Group, it was 91, wasn't it? It was between Ayrton Senna and Nigel Mansell going wheel to wheel. You just see those sparks coming off from the underneath the front wings there. It was one of the best imageries you'll ever see. And I think that was the first ever race around in Barcelona as well, wasn't it? If I'm not very much mistaken. I probably am. I must say I'm more wrong than right these days, but I do blame my age. Ever since I've turned 30, I have been a very forgetful ginger. Roger in the Reflections, and as I mentioned, he's the highest runner to pit on a scheduled pit stop anyway, or a scheduled stop anyway. And now Reflections doing a very good job in silver. He's done an outstanding job in the 100% championship, which we're watching here tonight. Of course, if you don't fancy watching Arsenal against who are they get? Oh dear, Man City, and Reflector's gone one, but Vintage is having none of that there, as he doesn't want to. He's looking at that. Remember, I always say about Vintage in the is I think that's Reflections there, just thanking Vintage there not to take a wild lunge there. I think that Vintage is a driver that I always say who's amazing point scorer. You want him in your team, don't you? And he is very much a part of that Williams unit there which is and really getting themselves very much high up the joint constructors there, and really giving themselves some momentum towards the later stage of this ALR season, which of course we're into the final 5 race now. Only 5 more weeks to go of ALR on F1 2022. Not the most, I gotta say, it's not the most favourite of games, is it? There, it's probably not. I would say it's not the. It's not going to be looked back in very much fond memories. Is there? I must say, this is the. But on this game, I've actually played this game the most. I think out of the last, especially out of the last 2021, 2020, and 2019, I'd say. I've played this game quite a lot this year. Then I don't know. It's probably because I don't really do much anymore, do I? I just sit on my deck chair doing my own Fernando Alonso impression and just enjoy the action of ALR, which is absolutely fantastic to see, isn't it? Looking forward to season 9 of ALR as well, of course, which ALR will be returning for season 9, and we're hoping to have 2 seasons on F1 2023. That is the rumour I'm hearing from the head admins there in ALR, of course, Farf, Smithy Almighty, and Knowlesy then will be back, will be the admins for next season, which I must say, Smithy's first season in charge of admin has been really fantastic. He's done a good job indeed then. That's also doubly surprising as Farf has been coaching the young man, hasn't he? I must admit, I do take the mick out of Farf quite a lot, don't I, really? But I think that Farf has actually been... Far from Knowlesy, Farf has been the longest standing admin. He's done such a good job in bronze and in silver and in gold. Because I think he was, I don't think, was he admin at bronze? I think he was a sub for bronze for admin for one couple of races or so. But he's also been very good in gold as well. So good indeed there, Farf is. And also doing a good job in silver as well as Bacardi up into 11th position, getting past Vintage there. But as I said, Vintage is, I reckon that Vintage might be going for an audacious one-stop here, isn't he? He is not fighting the car, all the drivers too hard around here. Vintage may have a opportunity to try a one-stop potential there. Babysit the tyres, go onto the hard tyres around lap 26, 27 here, and then go to the end of the race set. And I must say that if the other medium runners don't come into the pits either yet, they could also be trying a one-stopper as well, you know. The back straight then for Equals and Gamer is still status quo at the moment then. Since Gamer has taken the lead, Equals has not really challenged too hard, has he, Gamer? Gamer has, I don't think he's won a race yet, has he? His teammate KD's won 2 races. Gamer's not won 1 race yet, but he has been on the podium 5 times this season for the Aston Martin team. KD has been on the podium only 3 times this season, but 2 of those races have been Grand Prix victories, haven't they? So I think the Gamer will love a Grand Prix win, won't he? This season. He's done, and I think in gold as well. I don't think we've seen the best out of Gamer, have we, in gold? But he did get a fantastic a fantastic second a week or 2 ago. Didn't he? Great driving from Gamer. Then I think that we really, I would like to see Gamer. I can't wait to see Gamer have another crack at gold next season. I do think that he is going to definitely be a frequent podium sitter at the very least. Then Gamer is, and maybe if he can break through that glass ceiling, get a Grand Prix victory in gold, and maybe even start to challenge for the championship as well. But of course, the top 3 in gold at the moment is just redonkulous, isn't it? With Troye, with Boxtel, and with. And of course with Percy as well. It's been a brilliant watch, hasn't it? Same with the other championships as well. In silver, Nigel's starting to really Nigel's very much starting to stretch his legs now in silver, isn't he? Fangio really showed what he can do. Remember earlier on in the United States Grand Prix this week, Fangio dominated that race, and that is what Fangio can do. But he has had a lot of issues there, difficult strategies. I remember that he was the only driver on the intermediate tyres in Australia, wasn't he? At the start of that race, which was a very unusual call then. Mortal's just gone up into 4th position as well, getting past Danny, who is down into 5th position now then. Unfortunate for Fangio. Unfortunately for Fangio there, a couple of errors as well then, but Equals then currently in 3rd position there. Currently in 2nd, I should say. Then with Fangio in 3rd position. Then of course in bronze then, Jinner and Dynamo Dan seem to be on a collision course, don't they, with each other, as Jinner once again whittling down that championship battle. The championship points between himself and Dynamo Dan. I'm looking forward to bronze throughout the rest of the season with only 5 to go. It's going to be magnificent. And of course 100% as well. The championship 100% has been wrapped up, but I think what more more intriguing now is this battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth between the two Aston Martins of Gamer and KD, between Kaidout and Reflections as well, and Kaidout and Reflections have been very consistent over the season, haven't they? Whilst the Aston Martin team have been fast but spectacular where they've been quick, but should have and could have gotten better results. Then I would say I'm not being a bit harsh on the Aston Martin drivers, potentially, but I feel that they've really start to find their way in the final stage of this championship, and Aston Martin could get a second and a third in the championship, and they may even overhaul the AlphaTauri team in the constructors as well. Across the line once again, and on lap 18 of this race. Currently, Equals is sticking with DRS, and he's doing the perfect job at the moment. And Equals is I wonder if he is just sitting back and just thinking about what he needs to do. But to remember that if we're forward thinking till next season, I don't think Silver, all of the top three of Silver, got themselves confirmed for gold promotion just yet. But Equals will be racing Gamer next season very much on a weekly basis in gold. Then, so looking forward to that, and this could be a preview of sign of things to come then in that World Championship. And of course, I do like Equals. Is that helmet design as well? Very American-esque there, isn't it, for Equals? Is he got helmet of the week? I forget the helmets I like. I must admit, I did like Echo's helmet last night. It was a spectacular one. He had a tribute of Mario Andretti, not Michael Andretti, which he's a legend of himself in Formula 1, not really a Formula 1. He did get a podium on his final race, didn't he, Michael Andretti? However, he was not as quick as his dad, and I think that's probably an understatement, which I'm going to leave there, to be honest. But he did have a podium in his final race for the McLaren team. And it's all McLaren. Kydale has got past Sirius Mesher, made his way up into 13th position there. And Sirius Russian dropped down to 14th, but Sirius Mesher has done 17 laps on these hard tyres. Sirius Mesher struggling for pace at the moment, isn't he? Yellow flag in free. Swanshanks has gone off and into the wall quite heavily here. Is that going to be a safety car? We'll take a look now, and where is he? He's scrolling across the track. I'm surprised I had a safety car, to be honest, but it's like Siege. I thought that would have been a safety car as well, but no safety cars. And it's I thought Equals got past it. I forgot that Equals is in the Alfa Romeo today and not the Aston Martin. Swanshanks out the race, left the session, and that's 2 retirements on this race so far. The car is just getting pulled out of the way now, so it's going to be covered under double wave yellows then, but that's quite a difficult place to get rid of the to get rid of that car there. Goodness gracious me, that. But anyway, then we're just watching Reflections now, and I've forgotten there's so many football games on tonight, isn't that? Goodness me, and I've realised that Liverpool's playing as well. So perhaps it was a bad idea for me to commentate tonight, wasn't it? Especially if Liverpool lose, because I'm going to be in a very bad mood. Well, actually, no, I'm not, because I'm doing this rather than watching Liverpool. Maybe it's actually saved me from being in a very disappointed mood then. Sega's Monk there might also be not feeling too happy about Reflections gaining on him as well. Then you heard the beat, then that was the DRS detection zone. Bacardi is just outside DRS at the moment, but Bacardi is also catching these drivers at a right rate and not said. Sega's Monk having a look then into Sega's Monk defending into turn 1 there. Reflections there tried, but no dice there down the back straight. Vintage is coming into the pits there, and Kaido's gone very wide, and that is really opened the door to Bacardi, but I think Bacardi may have followed him in there too deep. Look at that, Reflections has lost almost a second doing that, and Bacardi couldn't capitalise that straight away, could he? Because I think that he just followed Reflections in there. When you're like, you do get kind of hypnotised with the car in front, don't you? Sometimes you might follow him off the road then, which does sound quite funny, doesn't it? Really, but yeah, unfortunately, I think Bacardi had that exact problem there, didn't he? And because of that, then he couldn't capitalise and get past Reflections there, which would be very interesting indeed. Because I think the Bacardi, Reflections, and Kaidout are going to be racing each other, I think, till the end of this one. So this is gonna be, I think, a long-term battle in this race. So we'll keep an eye on that, and remember where they've got to. And Immortal then is just flown past Murphy, moving himself up into third position. He's 18 seconds. The gap is now between Immortal and Equals. said, is Equals and Gamer has just pulled away. And I gotta say, last I looked at the gap there, I didn't realise how close Immortal was there, but he's now been in the third position. Immortal is going for his 11th Grand Prix win of the season and his 14th podium of the season as well. Goodness me, this man is on fire, isn't he? Really good 17 then, and this is very good for the Alpha Tauri team and the joint constructors as well. Just going back to this battle here between Sigismund, Reflections and Bacardi. I got to say, I shouldn't have had a roast anyway before going on there. Goodness me. Because we got to Reflections. They're going again a bit deep into turn one there. And I wonder if Reflections being a bit distracted here by Bacardi. We've all been distracted by Bacardi before, haven't we? But Bacardi just really giving Reflections some cause for concern. Into the pits there comes Serious Mushroom, and that is very early on for Serious Mushroom on the hard tires. He's just not liking those hard tires, is he, Serious Mushroom? He hasn't got much pace there, and Vintage is now going to be through and onto the medium tires. Vintage is there, so I think Vintage will be coming in, maybe coming in for another stop potentially there. But the medium tires, well, at the moment then, the medium tires so far on the drivers that started on the medium tires are still going strong. Bacardi and getting very heavy on the old loud pedal, not so loud pedal these days in the V6 turbo hybrid era, but still getting a bit fruitful there. Of course, there's a lot of torque in these machines these days, and unfortunately Bacardi there really very much trying to ride a bull, that would do, a bull. But watch your Reflection. Into the pits comes Murphy. He has enough of those medium tires there. Just before we're about 5 laps away from half distance, that smack bang one-stop strategy. No, it isn't. Murphy's going medium tires. It's the hard tires not far enough around here, do you reckon? Because we see with Serious Mushroom as well, where the hard tires are just not quick around here. I reckon everyone who started on the hard tires has abandoned that route now. Apart from Immortal, everyone else just cannot get those tires performing the way they would like them, and that is very interesting. So yes, this will be going into a two-stopper, I reckon, potentially, especially for Murphy. He might have a short, sharp stint on the soft tires at the very end. Reflections has gone into 9th position there. Sigismund is on the hard tires, and I think he's going to grin and bear it for a couple more laps at least. But I wonder if he might switch to a two-stopper as well later on in this race. That's what Serious Mushroom we think has done. That's what Murphy may have done as well, because I thought he was going to go into the hard tires, but maybe he did that just to throw me a curveball. I don't think he's like that, because he wants to do well in this race, doesn't he? And he doesn't want to jeopardise his strategy just because of this tune. KD, who is now really all over the back of Knowlesy. We keep an eye on that one, but I'm also keeping an eye on this as well. We've got a couple of battles out on track now, haven't we? As we go into the very tight and twisty castle section here, as just flying over the other side of the wall there was Immortal, the champion. Fantastic. I think Knowlesy is going to be getting a sinking feeling, I think, because KD, look at that, then he's all over him like a rash here. And now the Aston Martin, then he's going to get DRS as well. He might just breeze past Knowlesy down into turn one here. And also the battle of the front is getting very fruity as well. Knowlesy's in the pits there, and KD has had to back out. Of course, that is the danger of this pit in here, isn't it? But KD had to back out, and he lost an awful chunk of time doing that as well, because it looked like he was a couple of seconds slower there, wasn't he? Now Knowlesy in the pits, also on the medium compound tires as well. So yeah, they all going on the mediums, and a lot of drivers are staying away from the hard tires here, aren't they? So yeah, the hard tires are just not far enough, and I wonder if that's the first sector there, where it's almost it's like 9% shade in the first sector, isn't there? So that's why that the track may not be warming up as such then. And we got Sigismund down into 11th position now, because Bacardi is through and up into 10th position. Good overtake indeed then, and now then we're just watching. Oh goodness gracious me, it's a blast past me now as the controller's just falling on my knee, and goodness me, I'll just flick it off there. As all that Ferrari of Kiki is starting to look very menacing in that behind them there, as he probably wants to unlap himself now, as he may have quicker tires. Well, he has been inching back, hasn't he? And Kiki has shown that when he's got some consistency, he is very quick indeed. That Murphy's come out just behind Gino then, so let's see what Murphy can do. Of course, if he can get past if he can get past Jinner. We'll keep an eye on that one now. Jinner's done 16 laps into the pit. Oh, and we got an under, and look at this, a wonderful Equals going for an undercut here. He's into the pits on the man who's second the Grand Prix on lap 23 then, and we're looking for the Alfa Romeo mechanics in the black, predominant black and white overalls. There they are then, and no, that's the Williams. Where is he? I cannot see, you know, but I'm sure it's a good pit stop nonetheless. And Equals is now past, and he comes out of the pits. He is on the hard tyres then. So he has gone for the hard tyres, and Jinner squeezing Murphy there, but Murphy was coming through, come hell or high water, and he has also got the fast lap of the race, and he is steaming now. Murphy is really good stuff then, and a triple purple sector as well, then triple purple lap as well. Good stuff indeed there from Murphy. I like that helmet, that's a fantastic helmet from Murphy. Murphy does appreciate a good helmet though, doesn't he? Which I do, of course, which I very much do love a good helmet on these drivers. They're very good stuff indeed. Unfortunately, Bacardi, yellow flag out there for it's a Ferrari, and it's Kiki. Oh goodness me, Kiki was having a great run of laps there. Oh, and he's in the wall, and goodness me, I think he just spun up the rear wheels there in frustration from the Ferrari, and now then he is just getting on the way. I think that's a Mortal just getting through. It is a Mortal getting through, and he is really hunting down Gamer. Where is Equals? I hear you said Equals is about 18 seconds back. That is very close to Gamer. I'm wondering then, this is going to be all about firing up those hard tyres, and we have seen that the hard tyres have not been the best performing tyre tonight. That has, it's definitely been the medium compound tyre, but Gamer is staying out there. He is going for a different strategy, or he's trying to elongate this strategy here. So maybe Gamer is another driver that doesn't want to go into the hard tyres, perhaps. Well, Immortal is showing them all that the hard tyres is quick, but I've got to say, Immortal could basically put on slow tyres, really, and still be quick. He is absolutely redonkulous, isn't he? He's in the League of One. He's our very own Verstappen here in the 100%, isn't he? Very, very impressive indeed, then, is Immortal. Absolutely great stuff indeed. Into the pits comes Kiki there, having to chase the nose cone on Ferrari. And unfortunately, Murphy set no fast out of the race there. Murphy really pushing on here, isn't he? I think Murphy's gone for a very attacking two-stop strategy here, hasn't he? So he's done the calm and precise lap now. He is now going to be pushing here, and he certainly is really lighting up the timing sheet. Bacardi then, who's done 18 laps on these medium tyres, and I think they'd probably be going for another set of mediums to the end of the race potentially, but I've forgotten what tyre he started on really, which is not very good, is it? Otherwise I would have given you more information on that. But this is the close battle on track mode then, as we come to half distance then, of course. So if you just join us, it's the 100% league then. This is the specialist league then on Wednesday nights at ALR. Very much a different discipline, isn't it, in the world of ALR, as we have usually the league championship race. They're about 50% of real F1 race distance, which of course is usually 26 laps around here. Oh gosh, I almost swallowed my tongue there. But tonight it is 51 laps instead. So yes, we are doubling the race length tonight then. And of course we aren't even at half distance yet, but the second half of the race will be quicker than the first because they have had less fuel on the cars. And I'm wondering if anyone who is thinking about going soft to the end, and that could be the magic bullet later on this one. Of course, also you get fastest lap. You also get point for fast up wherever you finish. Well, that rule is the same as it is in the league races, in the championship races. Into the pits comes Gamer, and he's had an extra lap that he is on the hard tyres as well. So he has extended his stint ever so slightly here, and Equals down the back straight, and now we got yellow flags as the Ferrari's off then. But Gamer has lost the lead. Then his Equals is now taking second position here, and away he goes. And so yeah, they are sticking to the one stop here, and then the top two drivers in this one. KD then is now only 10 seconds back, KD is said, but what could have been from the pole sitter, unfortunately, then, as Kiki there just get out of the way, then gets a nightmare race so far for Kiki, isn't it? As he's approaching half distance now, and he's everything he's doing there just doesn't seem to be helping him out at all. Kiki is off and into the wall, out of the race then, and that is a major blow indeed for the Ferrari, and that's three cars in the same place then. It's had issues then. Sigma's Mug as was thinking about coming to the pits. Reflections has come into the pits there. I wonder, he's done 30 laps. I don't have 13 laps of Reflections on the medium tyre. I think that the medium tyres can almost do the half. Race. Oh, Reflections got damaged. That's why he's in the pits. And there's me. I'm thinking about the strategy, Corey, but Reflections stayed on the medium tyres. That is the preferred race tyre here tonight, by how this race is feeling. But Reflections there, unfortunately, that is going to help the Aston Martin team no end here tonight. In terms of battling for second position in the championship, I must add that then as well, because at the moment McLaren and Aston Martin are not in a direct fight here tonight in the race, but they are in the direct fight of who's going to be second and third in the championship. Because if you missed last week, oh, KD is off and into the wall. We was just watching him. Oh, he's reversed into the Armco barrier there, and unfortunately for KD, that's major damage. I think he was going to expect to come to the pits and not in the not too distant future anyway, but what about the damage on the back of that rear car? But KD there, unfortunately spinning there, and that is a major blow indeed then. Out at turn 16 then, of course, that's a very critical corner of this circuit. You need to get the power down and really launch yourself off it, and unfortunately, I wonder KD put too much power down, or if those medium tyres was just at the end of their life at 23 laps, and is that the most? That's almost, well, it's not the most laps that we've had on the medium tyres. Into the pits now comes KD then, changing tyres, and that is hard tyres not to the end of the race there for the Aston Martin team then. And of course, so let's see where KD can go from here on in there. A lot of drivers there are on two stoppers there, so a couple of drivers that are in front of him will need to stop again then, and I think the likes of Jinner will definitely need to stop again. I think Murphy will need to stop again as well. I'm sure Knowlesy will need to. Danny as well, potentially. I can't remember what tyres he started on. Oh, KD is off there, and it's a nightmare it's a nightmare opening lap as well. And look at Sick Smoke all over the back of Kaidal here as KD has dropped down another couple of positions there. Kaidal has made his way up to 9th there. Kaidal, I think, will be extending this stint then. I wonder if he's going to try and get 30 laps on these hard tyres and then go onto the mediums to the end of this race. Then KD down in the 11th position now. He's lost another 2 positions there after overshooting turn 2. As I'm sure an F2 car got stuck down there one year, didn't they? And you bored their engine because they couldn't get reverse there. And their 3-point turn was not very good at all. I can't remember who that was. Into the pits comes Kaz in the Ferrari. The Ferrari mechanics are out in the pits now. And here they come then. They're also changing the nose cone on Kaz and going on medium tyres then, and as I come into the end of the race, it's going to be a stretch. I wonder if Casway think to have a short, sharp stint on the soft tyre as well, like a couple of other drivers, I think, which would be thinking the same, I would say. So Immortal, at the moment now, Immortal probably would, he's very quick at the moment, but he has got to find almost a whole pit stop advantage there if he wants to win this race. Immortal does. Remember, Immortal has already won 10 races this season, going for the 11th race win in his 18th start this season. That's a ridiculous amount of wins, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. But about the moment there, Immortal's going to really have to earn it here, isn't he, today, if he wants to win this one. But E-Cross is homing in on him quite quickly. He's found 4/10 of a second. E-Cross does not want to be stuck behind Immortal too long, because Gamer, who has got 2-lap younger tyres on the hard tyres than E-Cross, which doesn't sound like a lot, but are at the end of this stint, at the end of this race, especially in the fast part of the circuit, which we're just riding through with now with E-Cross, with the fast part of the circuit, on worn tyres, there could be a mistake. You could lose a lot of time here if you really misjudge in these fast corners. So this is not over yet, is it? There, but the Gamer would not have thought to lost the lead easily without thinking that this is the best way to do it. That is certainly, and a Gamer there certainly is a very shrewd operator in that Aston Martin, isn't he? This race is not over yet, and can Gamer get his first win of the season then? Of course, Equals a reserve driver there, but I'll have to see if he's had a win this season. I don't think he has he, 100%. Equals has had a couple of wins in the Silver Championship. Look, here comes KD, who's had 2 race wins there, but tonight has been a bit of a test for KD, hasn't it? Being on pole position there, but having a few issues there. He's now all over the back of Sick Smoke, who has not come into the pits there. I think he's the only driver apart from Immortal not to pit at this stage of the season. So So very mammoth stints there for those two drivers. Good stuff indeed. However, Sigismund there is going to lose. I think he will probably drop to behind Vintage, but in front of Reflections there. So this is a great stint here for Sigismund. And remember that Sigismund will not need to stop again. There's a couple of drivers in front wheel, so he might be able to pick up a point or two in the Mercedes. I thought that KD was understeer into the wall there, but he's all over the back of the Mercedes. I wonder if when Sigismund is going to come to the pits. Into the pits does come the Alpine of Sigismund. Does stay out there. And goodness me, trying to get into the slipstream there. Into the pits does come Picardi. Then of course Picardi is first ever race in ALR here tonight. And who is that then? It's KD. It's off his circuit at turn 1, and that's damage, I think, on the McLaren, and he's done 22 laps on the hard tyres. He would want to have extended this stint a bit further. He can't, though. He's got to come to the pits, and that damage is too great. Then aerodynamics is not as predominant as they were on the F1 2021 cars. It's more ground effect these days, but still, he needs a bit of front wing there to get some turning into that McLaren. Unfortunately, that's going to drop him down quite a number of positions there for Kaidal. He's going to come up behind Cirrus Mushroom, something like that. Cirrus Mushroom. Into the pits comes Immortal then, and now the Alpha Tire mechanic said we'll be getting ready to receive the world champion, and there he is, and they're ready to receive their champion into the pits, onto the medium tires, and back out now. And of course, then he'll be quicker than a hiccup then to the end of this race. And I do feel, I was saying actually a minute ago, that it's going to be a tough job there to as Jenner's in the pits. It's going to be a tough job then to win this race, but I don't think it will be, actually. I reckon Immortal has the pace to catch and pass the two front runners here. As Gino there, a bit of a sluggish stop there from Alpine. When they changed the nose cone, we couldn't see from that shot there, but he's now back on the hard tires, Gino. The tires he started this race on until the end of the race, for Gino. And, of course, KD is the next driver down the road. Oh! Did he go into the wall there? I was looking at the tyring screens there. But hopefully, Jinnan, who, of course, these tyres are not going to be as warm as the tyres that he took off there. And I'm wondering if there was a heat. I wonder if he just misjudged that then potentially. We'll see if Jinnan's got damage or not. But that could be Kaz out of the race then, and he's out of the race in a very awkward part of the circuit. Then, so I'm going to just find Nosey, and it's a safety car here. Just as we got, he's gone into the wall then, and Kaz, both Ferraris out of the race, and it's a safety car here. This is a great reset, and this is beautiful for Kaidada, who just damaged his wing then into the pits. Now comes Cirrus Mushroom. He's got to make sure that if Ezekiel, I think the equalizer gamer should be in the pits as well here. But yes, they are. Then, into pits is definitely equalizer. Cirrus Mushroom. Then, of course, if we've got lap, then he is not allowed to unlap himself. But luckily, the two leaders are into the pits now, and I assume that there'll be some yellow marked medium compound tires out for both these drivers. Immortal's just coming to the pits. I wonder if Immortal's going to take the lead in this race. You know, this could be golden. This could be golden for Immortal. Yes, I think that Immortal could take the lead here. And look, there's on the other side of the bar. Look, there's the Aston Martin. And Gamer, is he going to get out in front? No, he doesn't. Get his Equals out in front. Equals takes the lead, keeps the lead there. But it's Immortal now in second position with Gamer in third. Murphy's gone hard tires in the race. I wonder if he's because he hasn't got any mediums left, does it? So that is gutting for Murphy and for Danny as well. And I think this might be the same story for Nosey as well. So this safety car has really hamstrung Murphy, Danny, and Nosey in this race there. Jenner, I don't think Jenner didn't damage his car, and otherwise I think he would have taken this free pit stop. But Jenner has got out in front of Nosey here. So Jenner in sixth position, Nosey and seventh. Into the pits comes KD, and this may also give KD a new leash of life then after having a very trying race so far. But he is in the pits now. Sick as muck is going to be grinning from ear to ear. I think there's the Mercedes mechanics goes to work. Oh, they're on to change the nose cone as well on Sick as muck. So he's been driving around with damaged front wing then. So that has been a pretty almighty stint then. KD then, who's coming, going to be out behind Bacardi. Sick as muck has changed the nose cone, but that is his first stop so far. Vintage has stayed out. Reflections has stayed out as well. So Sick as muck has basically been given a free stop then. Kaz, too bad. Too bad. I was going for the podium. Thanks for the comments. Not a problem. Kaz said it. Yes, that was unfortunate. Kaz said it could have been. Oh, and Reflections down the escape road as well. What's going on with these cars today? That having trouble stopping into turn 2 there. And Reflections has given away 2 positions there. I think. I'm sure he's in 11th position up until that point of the race there. But yeah, Reflections down in 13th position now, and now Serious Russian also in the pits as well, going on to the medium compound tyres, and hopefully a safety car will give us enough time for Serious Russian to catch us the back. He's going to be on brand new medium tyres now to the end of the race set, but I feel that anyone who's not on the medium tyres, I feel that the likes of Murphy, Danny, Jidder and Knowlesy is going to really, I think they're going to be swamped in the safety car restart here. Then lap 31 then, we're coming up to now, we've got 20 laps to go in this 100% league race tonight. Then of course, welcome. Thank you very much, Kaz, and nice words as well. Really appreciate that. But unfortunately for Kaz, then his podium was his target tonight. Then, but unfortunately for Kaz, that is not going to happen now, as he has unfortunately ended this race into the wall. Then, as into the pits comes Knowlesy. So Knowlesy has gone on to. Is that new hard tyres for Knowlesy? Oh, goodness me! I thought he would have gone to the medium tyres there, but maybe Knowlesy preferred the hard tyres. I'm surprised he didn't go on the medium there, to be fair. But he goes on the pit down. He got a free pit stop there almost. I think he did actually, because I think Jenner was already in front of him. Into the pits comes Vintage now as well. Serious Russian quite a way behind at the moment there, so this is going to be a long owed safety car. I think we've got a couple more laps behind it anyway. As now into the pits and stopped on soft tyres there for Vintage. Golly gosh! My word, and goodness me, I feel that Vintage is had enough there of keeping it calm and composed. He is going to fight in the restart now, isn't he? He is now. We're going to really see some fireworks for the Williams driver. Magnificent. But I do think that, unfortunately, though, he is going to need to come back into the pits. I think the soft tyres are not going to get to the end of this race. I don't think that. Let's take stock then on lap 31. Then we've got a bit of cloud coming over here and back here. Hopefully there's no rain on the horizon, or maybe actually, because I'm an evil Knievel, there may be that there is going to be rain on the horizon, which will very much add a spice into this race. I love it. Right, let's take stock, shall we? So the first 3 are on new medium tyres. It is Equals leads the way of Immortal now in 2nd position and Gamer in 3rd position. Gotta say, Immortal then it's made Immortal's life a bit more easier, but I do think he was quick enough to catch the drivers in front because he was on the medium tyres anyway. Whilst Equals and Gamer was on the hard tyre. Murphy, of course, was going medium, and I think he was going soft at the end there. But Murphy has had to put on the hard tyres and really potentially ruin his chances of really making the statement in the final stage of this race. So he's going to have to hang on now, isn't he? Same with Danny as well. I think he's on a similar strategy to Murphy. Jenner in 6th position at the moment. Jenner has elected not to come to the pits. He's going to have a lot of laps on those hard tyres by the end of this one. He's going to have at least 27 laps, which the hard tyres can do, of course. But we'll see how this one transpires. Knowles, he came to the pitch for an extra stop, and I thought he was coming on the medium tyres, but he's gone for another set of hard tyres. He had 2 sets of hards. So Vince is back in the pits there. 8th position is Bacardi. Now this is debut tonight. Bacardi is, and goodness me, he's looked very strong in this race, hasn't he? He's in 8th position at the moment. Bacardi is on the medium tyres, and along with KD as well. Kiki's left the session there. Wrong box, Mr. Director. We're looking at the Aston Martin box rather than the Williams box there. Steady on, lady. Steady on, lads. Out of the pits now comes a Vintage. We've got KD in 9th position. Sickers Muck in 10th. 11th position. Kaidar 12th is Reflections. Vintage is in 13th position there on the hard tyres. And 14th position is Serious Mushroom, who's just catched up there. Look at how Gray has got overhead then. Serious Mushroom should catch up, and we should get back racing. And on lap 33 of this 51 lap Grand Prix here tonight, Wednesday night's racing in the 100% ALR. And we got a new driver in. We've also got a new driver as well in ALR that's just joined us. Actually, it's a Pink Eye 42 then. and I'm wondering if it's part of Troy's fan club there. Goodness gracious me, it's 2-0 then against Arsenal at the moment between Man City and Arsenal. It's also a shame now. Of course, I don't really want Man City to win personally, but yeah, it's but yes, very yeah, welcome very much then to Pink Eye. And of course, there's, I think he's a part of CPI, so I think that's a part of Troy's and Mr. Rage and Chaza potentially. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. But I'm doing that from memory as well. Right then, it's Serious Mushroom. Safety cars at the end of something. Serious Mushroom has got hot tyres now as well, hasn't he? So that's perfect there from Serious Mushroom there. Now then, let's get back racing, shall we? Equals then will be controlling the pack then. This overcast, this track, the weather conditions have become very overcast in this one. All of a sudden, I reckon that this could cause havoc for the drivers on the hard tyres, because the hard tyres, I feel, do take an extra bit of time to really look at the fans there. Brilliant stuff indeed to see, isn't it? I feel it takes an extra couple of turns to really fire up the hard tyres. I reckon it takes a lap, to be fair. He's gone. And here we go, we're back racing then, and it is equals the other way then. Of course, remember we had incredible fireworks with safety car restarts in 2017, and Katie up the inside there, and trying to go on the inside of Bacardi, and we got the McLaren going past Sick as Muck as well, and he's going past the Aston Martin, and there's contact there between the two, and then Katie has just about got out of that scuffle, but now Sick as Muck and Kaida are going side by side, wheel to wheel. No DRS then for the opening 2 laps, and after the safety cars, oh my gosh, that's going to be contact then, and Sick as Muck just about then, I think they've all got away with it just about, but Cordell dropping down to 11th position there, a very aggressive opening lap, opening couple of corners here for the Mercedes driver. Oh my goodness gracious me, that I think that Katie was very much grimacing, wasn't it, as he probably seen that Mercedes flying at him at almost at a right rate of knots there, but luckily it was all fine and dandy. Gamers had a great opening lap here, so he's all over the back of Immortal here, because Immortal is now almost 9/10 seconds away. We're on board now with Gamer, so that safety car has very much done a reset now, and basically we've now basically got 50% league race, haven't we? We're on lap 33 out of 51 now, so this is going to be very spectacular until the end of the race. However, the only difference is that the drivers are going to be very fatigued already here, haven't they, then, because they've been racing now for Katie's got a 3-second penalty. That's the first penalty of the race then. The drivers are going to be very fatigued then, because they've been racing for 33 laps already around here. Of course, it's a far cry to what the endurance races do, isn't it? But nevertheless, then, for especially for a man like myself, and who's usually now getting himself ready for bedtime while we're in overtime here. Well, we're not really, are we? But we are in overtime in terms of me, but we're not in overtime in terms of these drivers. I absolutely love a bit of long distance racing. It's great to see. And now coming down the back straight once again, and remember, no DRS said, oh, and who's that? That's KD, and we just did KD, another spin there, and I think that's frustration for KD. It's been a tough old racer, and oh, he's in the wall, and KD has, that is such a shame, and I'm wondering, that's a lot of frustration there for KD, who's had a lot of pace there. He had pole position by 0.3 of a second, but it's just not been his night, has it? Serious Mushroom now up in the 12th position there, in the Haas car as well. Gap at the front is almost half there. As Immortal has had a great first sector here, hasn't he? A magnificent first sector for Immortal. Equals leads the way by half a second now from Immortal in second position there. Where Equals is leading by half a second away from Immortal, with Gamer in third position, Murphy in fourth. Murphy, Danny, Jinner, and Nolsey. I'm surprised at this, because I thought that they was going to be swapping, but it just shows once again I have no idea what goes on. Oh my goodness, I was going side by side there. Katie out of the race then in the castle section as well, and that is a safety car again, and Bacardi's off the circle as well, and I'm wondering then if anyone's going to I don't think the soft tire is going to get to the end from here. I don't think lap 34 out of 51 here, another safety car. It's all of a sudden become action packed in this Grand Prix. 13 drivers remain then. Someone had a prediction, was it 7 drivers that was going to finish, or 9 drivers, and E-Cross was trying to think about kind of the pits. I think they was just doing the dummy there, wasn't they? No one is coming into the pit. Jinner is, though. Jinner is coming to the pit centre, which I do understand that next. He's done 10 laps on the hard tyres. Jinner has, and I'm wondering then what tyres is the LP. There on the blue. It's soft tyres. I can see the red mark, the Pirelli logo there. And now the Jinner is up to the soft tyres. That is going to be an almighty stint then. Well, goodness me, I'll be surprised if we get to the end of those soft tyres. But again, I have been surprised before. Knowlesy then, who's just run. This should be a shorter safety car period then, because the drivers are quite backed up at the moment there. But generally, the only driver then coming to the pits. I'm surprised that Reflections actually aren't coming to the pits potentially, because he's done 10 laps on those medium compound tyres here. As we're watching Equals at the moment, and I've got to sit down because oh goodness me, I've got cramp in my left bum cheek here. And so we got Bert Mylander out at the moment. There's Bert Mylander, who is having a lovely Sunday afternoon on a Wednesday, which of course doesn't make any sense, but when do I make sense there? But Bert Mylander out again, and I think he's going to be very unhappy with Kaz and KD, as I think he was probably enjoying himself in the Baku sunshine. Having said that, the Baku sunshine has been, well, it's gone, it's disappeared, it's been hidden by the clouds, hasn't it now? And my goodness, gracious me. KD has said that it's been the worst week for him then, as it's so unfortunate for KD, wasn't it? Because he had a great pole position, as I mentioned, 3/10 of a second, probably more actually, over his teammate Gamer. And then well, Alpine of Bacardi has gone off the circuit there. That's unfortunate. Hopefully, I haven't got damage there. But, well, I think that the safety car may stay out for another lap or two. If it does for Bacardi, if he has got damage, then he might... he hasn't got damage yet. I'm wondering how he's dropped onto the back of the field. He must have made a mistake somewhere. But Bacardi, who unfortunately has lost a lot of time. I wonder if he might go on the... I think soft tyres. I don't think the soft tyres are going to last, you know. I've been completely wrong before. I'm probably wrong on this occasion as well. The safety car is not coming out just yet. So I'm wondering if Bacardi may come into the pits now, because he's lost track time. If he's got some fresh medium tyres there, or tyres that have done less than 7 laps there, it might be worth coming in the pits there, throwing on a fresh set of rubber, which will help him out later on in this race then. And that is a car in the pits in the distance there. That is Knowlesy into the pits there. So he's had enough of those hard tyres. And so Bacardi almost into the barrier. So Knowlesy has come to the pits there. And that is medium tyre. No, it's soft tyres there for Knowlesy, who's stolen car 23, which I'm absolutely disgusted by, because that's Albon's number. Bacardi's had to also change his front wing as well. Katie saying that this is the worst week of his life, and he's struggled. It's been the worst week, he's saying, for him, man, as difficulty in Austin, and then here tonight got pole position then, but it just didn't go well at all. We didn't see what happened with KD, I don't think, on the opening skirmishes there, did he? But he had a difficult start, didn't he? Lost the advance of pole position almost instantly, and then it's just had a difficult race ever since. Ever since the lights have gone out for this Grand Prix, it's been a downward spiral for KD, unfortunately. So, but hopefully he can bounce back in the next race, which is actually in Miami in a week's time, of course. Then, of course, remember that the 100% League that we do follow the actual official calendar. Then, so yes, Azerbaijan to Miami, and then of course we will have China and then we will have Imola, followed by Monaco, and then of course we finish off at the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. And what a historic race to finish 100% League on in a historic season as well. So safety cars start at the moment. Anyway, so we've had 2 safety cars in the matter of moments in this race there. And the first half of the race we didn't have any safety cars, but now all of a sudden we've had 2 safety cars on lap 36 out of 51 then, and we are coming. I think we've got about hang on a bit, my maths is going to safety cars in the end. Like that. We've got about 14 odd laps to go or something like that. Then we'll do that, shall we? Actually, yeah, that's not too far, is it, on the soft tyres then? I don't know why that 36 out of 51 does still feel like quite a lot of laps, don't it? On board though with Equals, Equals and Game had an almighty battle for the Grand Prix lead here. Mortal is now inserting himself in that Grand Prix lead as well. He was pretty quick, was he, on the hard tyres? I think it was only a few drivers making those hard tyres work earlier on this race then. But only 3 drivers stayed on the hard tyres, which is Vintage, which is Murphy and Danny as well. And Equals is gone, and here we go! Hopefully be no more safety cars then, and Equals trying to break the slipstream. Going into turn one, once again, no DRS then until the end of the second lap then. After the safety cars come in, then Jinner has already passed Vintage then, and Jinner then has gone wide then into turn one. Nolsey is also fighting with Bacardi. Vintage there, who has not got the tools at the moment there, but I think that the Vintage does feel that those soft tires are going to probably drop off before the end of this race, and when they do, he's going to strike as he was. The tires are warm and toasty. Cardell made his way up into second position then, with Katie out of this race. Unfortunately, and this is going to help McLaren. Serious Mushroom dropping down into 10th position there, and he's also got Vintage for company as well. But no, we're looking at that. Bacardi is trying to go through. Sickersbuck is also lost out there as Kaidal is up into 6th position. Contact, and that's into the wall there for Sickersbuck there, and he misjudges brake and put unfortunately there. Sickersbuck then and turned Kaidal around and dropped right down to the back of the field then. Sickersbuck is also lost out to a Jinner as well here, and really bunched up the order here, but Sickersbuck there unfortunately just misjudging that ever so slightly there. But you can see even the slightest of a misjudgment on the outside. Oh my goodness me, and they have spun there, and yes, it is very, very difficult to go 2x2 around there. We had an almighty shunt around there. I think Murphy had an almighty shunt around there back in season 2 of ALR Gold, but that is not as bad. But goodness me, even though it did screech quite heavily there, which I might have to check to make sure that my throat's alright. My throat's finally recovered today, but I don't think he's going to after that. But Kaidal, Vintage and Bacardi have all had a troubling start then to this opening lap here then, and now then we come down then the back straight once again. A gap at the front then is about half a second there. Last time we didn't get to the DRS action zones, did we? But now we might get to the action zones this time then, if we can survive this lap then without any issues then. And yellow flag then, and Bacardi is always I'm not sure what's happening there for Bacardi. I'm wondering if he was going to try and come into the pits and potentially misjudged it, but he's coming into the pits now. But this is Bacardi having a nightmare race, unfortunately, after what has been a fantastic debut for Bacardi. But that is such a shame, and he's out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. We're down to 12 runners and riders in this race. And who knows who's going to win this one then, between Equals, Immortal, and Game of the top three. Once again, in a league of their own, aren't they? They're absolutely flying out there at the moment. They're very impressive stuff indeed. It's very, very good stuff. And yellow flag then, but that's for Bacardi. Bacardi stranded car there. On board Gamer at the moment then, keeping tabs, and he needs to keep in that DRS detection zone then if he wants a chance of winning this Grand Prix. As you see what Equals is doing here, he's trying to sprint away. He's trying to use all the and I think that on one side he's trying to sprint away, but I think Immortal's had a horror show of the second sector here, and that has allowed Gamer to really get onto the back end. He's not going to have DRS yet. He will have DRS, I think, at the I think he'll have DRS and come out of turn 2 and into turn 3. Look at those sparks that come off the back of the championship winning car just in front of us. Gamer though is not concerned about that. He's not concerned about how beautiful the AlphaTauri looks. All he's concerned about is seeing that AlphaTauri in his rear wing mirrors now. As of course DRS will be enabled at the end of the next lap. You would think that I haven't watched F1, wouldn't you? But there you go. I'm still learning. Every day's a score day for me, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. As I'm dropping down then into turn 3. Jinner could really get a handful of points here, couldn't he? Kaidal has got past Nolsey. Nolsey dropping down into 11th position, and Jinner could get a handsome hat of points in this one there, couldn't he? He's up into 6th position on there. His teammate Bacardi having a great debut, but unfortunately out of this race though. But Jinner now flying the flag for the Alpine team. Of course, the only Renault powered car in midfield then, which is quite astounding stuff, isn't it? For them, but they can focus on themselves. Really, the only problem with that is that with development, they can't spread their development work over numerous amount of teams, can they? second penalty today does go to Sick as much then, but of course KD down the first penalty, but he's out of this race. And look at how quickly Jitter has scored up to the back. And now this is where the DRS really gets going. Then Danny's not going to have any DRS there from Murphy, who has done a beautiful job of really racing away then and making sure he's out of that DRS detection. Gamer's out of that DRS detection, but I think he will get it because he was in DRS detection at the no, he isn't. He wasn't. And here comes Immortal now, and on lap 14, fastest lap, takes the lead there as the world champion. And there he goes. Oh, he's gone deep, and he crosses back through, and Jitter's past Danny as well. But yes, Immortal, did he just goodness me, he's thrown away that, didn't he? Oh my golly gosh there, and that could come back to bite Immortal on the rear posterior there. But yes, it looks standard stuff there for Immortal, like it has done on the other 10 occasions in this championship. But Equals is having none of it there. He wants to win this race, does he, in the Alfa Romeo? And Alfa Romeo do need those points, don't they, after a bit of troubling season there. Kaidal making his way up into 9th position, past the serious Marshall, but he's had a glancing blow with the barrier, inside barrier there. That shouldn't take too much damage to the wing, but that's not ideal, is it? And now Gamer is now onto this, is hot on the scene here now, as we're about 12 laps away into the end of this race then. And now we have, so we're now in the very much the twilight end of this Grand Prix. And my goodness gracious me, Equals, Immortal and Gamer, I think that Equals is going to be feeling very, very, well, it's going to be feeling very concerned about this, because he's now got the pack of wolves and they're swarming him on the back of his car. There they are. And Equals, and how he's going to defend this? Is he going to be able to defend this then? Because it's going to be difficult to defend two cars going down into turn 1. I saw me turn again. Two cars going down into turn 1 and on such a wide track. We've almost got 4 or 5 lanes going down there, haven't they? Remember that usually any other time of year, this is normally, and look at this, and this is normally a public road then, and he is through, and Immortal takes the lead there. Unfortunately, we had some rubbish camera shots there, but now Immortal takes the lead then, and now then, can he pull away? And he has been very quick, hasn't he, over the course of the season and this race as well. But on lap 41 out of 51, he takes the lead. Then that's what I mean. Then the second half of the race, that Immortal is always there, isn't he? He's always there. Really an absolute machine, isn't he? Immortal is, and he's shown it again here tonight. So with 10 laps to go, Immortal leads and going for his 11th Grand Prix win of the season in 100%, and he's already clinched the championship. He wants AlphaTauri to clinch the Constructors' Championship as well, and also he loved the AlphaTauri to win the Joint Constructors as well. So that is what the Immortal One wants to do at the moment, isn't it? Jitter there is trying to home in on Murphy here. He may just do it then with on those 6-lap soft tires there. That's and also Knowles is on the soft tires as well, down in 11th position there, but he's on the pole-in run there. I think Knowles has had some issues, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that Red Bull car. Murphy doing a great job in 4th position since he got up to 3rd or 4th, which was quite a I think it was around, wasn't it, like that 15, something like that? It may have been earlier than that, to be honest, you know. But since he's got up as high as that, he has stalled in this race, Eric. So I think the top 2, which was Gamer and Equals, have been in a league of their own then. And then, of course, Immortal then joined the party as well, and they are sprinting away from Murphy once again. But Murphy's had a very solid race, hasn't he? I think Murphy has basically driven in most of the races this season anyway. This is 12 starts in the 100% league this season. He's only classed as a super sub or reserve kind of thing, but only class as a reserve, isn't he? But goodness me, he's been here more times than some of the full-time drivers, hasn't he, Murphy has there? And I think the Murphy, like Knowlesy and like Knowlesy, Kaidal, Mortal, really enjoy the 100% format, doesn't he? But however, he's not going to be enjoying this then, because Jenner is now all over the back of Murphy, but Murphy's harvested, and so is Jenner as well. Jenner has been a bit greedy on the old energy there, hasn't he? and unfortunately has just been unable to take that position. And as Vintage are having a look at it, nose down to turn one. Both McLaren's 8th and 9th at the moment. This is not good. Oh, and look at this, there's a crisscrossing paths here. Going to be a bit of cha-cha slide here between the two drivers. Now then is a Jenna Murphy trying to defend here, but I think that Jenna then getting very aggressive behind that wheel, and goodness me, this is feel like a bit of desperation there for Jenna. I wonder if he knows that Murphy into the wall, and now Jenna, oh goodness me, that was very aggressive indeed. And Murphy's race, who has been very, very, very solid, if not spectacular, and unfortunately that's come very undone very quickly here. Jenna was desperate to get past Murphy, wasn't he? And goodness me, I'm wondering then if I'm wondering then if he should have just waited until potentially the DRS detection zone, or maybe he felt that Murphy had too much speed in that Red Bull. But I'm surprised of how desperate it looked there to get past Murphy at that stage of proceedings. Through goes Gamer up into second position. Murphy's big points for Murphy. Unfortunately, that is that's not going to happen anymore. There, Jenna now in 4th position. Danny in 5th position. Siggins Merck is now to a solid 6th there. Murphy will be coming into the pits there momentarily. I would assume in the Red Bull. He is not going to be a happy chap, is he? Both Red Bulls who are looking strong. Just after that second safety car came in, as all of a sudden come unraveled there. I am expecting the Red Bull mechanics to have a change of wing then, but also going on to the soft tyres as well, which they are indeed from car 26 then, which used to be, did it used to be Danny Fiat's number? I think it did, didn't it? Or was it 25? Goodness me. Shocking stuff indeed there. But on board then with Vincent. Cardell's got past Siggins Muck, moving himself up into 6 Muck. Remember, has a 3-second penalty, of course, so that will drop him down. He was going to lose that position anyway. He now needs to keep 3 seconds in front of Reflections if he wants to keep that 7th position, which I think Siggins Muck does deserve that 7th position overall. He's done a good job. So Murphy's going to be very quick here now, isn't he? I don't think he's going to be able to get higher. He might be able to get past Vintage there, who the hard tyres is just not helping Vintage at the moment. He might be able to get past Nose as well, but I don't think Cirrus Mushroom is just too far up the road then. I think the Siggins Muck does have an opportunity to keep that 7th position, because Reflections has done 18 laps on those medium tyres there. I reckon Reflections buys his tyres, you know, and he doesn't like to use many, does he? From Pirelli, or maybe McLaren are charging him per pit stop. I'm not too sure. Which you wouldn't. Well, I certainly wouldn't put it past him in the Ron Dennis days. Goodness me. Maybe not so much with the Zach Brown era and the Andreas and of course Andrea. No, goodness, on a brain moment there. I've been on commentary far too long now. I need to lie down, and what I need is probably a good old drink of what have we got here? We've got some apple and blackcurrant, lovely stuff indeed. Good stuff there. I can't believe Troy in USA Ginger. That could be huge. Then Charles Palmer is saying that. I think, yes, I'm going to be honest. We're going to look back at that. And we're also I think we're going to look back at the Japanese Grand Prix and that United States Grand Prix at the end of the season. Especially in the USA though. You're right though, Charles Palmer, because I feel that. Yes, he was under pressure, but I didn't think he was under that much pressure, and he is certain Troy will be kicking himself on that, I'm sure of it. Yes, then I think that race was potentially the one where Troy could have stopped the momentum of boxed out. We go into Mexico next week as well. It's going to be very interesting to see how Troy responds to that then. So there's going to be pressure on the Super Swede then in the AlphaTauri. Of course, he still leads the championship by about 5 points then when I last looked. It is very much all to play for in gold still. Unfortunately, not very much to play for in Gamer's got past the class whilst I've been waffling on. Gamer is now for the second minute there, but it's all to play, but it's not all to play for in 100% then, with Ilmoto already winning the championship. but second position is very much anyone's guess at the moment, and Gamer is now very much flying through. I apologise profusely to Gamer, as I completely missed that whilst I was talking to Charles Palmer then, which is shocking stuff. That's why Nosey does 100%, because not only is he a master of this craft, but also he has a better attention span than me as well. Shocking stuff indeed then. Right, lap 45 out of 51 here in Baku, and the sun has burst through the clouds after it became very overcast a few laps ago, didn't it? Goodness me, it was looking very murky indeed then, but yes, but those clouds have gone away, they've blown away here in the city of wind, or is it the city of fire? Whatever the case may be, the clouds have gone, and hoping we're going to have a sunny end then to a spectacular Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Murphy has set the fast lap of the race, and he hasn't set a fast lap. He hasn't actually had a fast lap yet in 100% in this season's end, but he's had a lot of fast laps in over his career in ALR. And you can add this one to the bank. However, I think Murphy will be a bit more grieved that him and Jenner came to blows add to the castle section there, which potentially has cost him, at fourth position there. But of course, to me, I think that. Maybe Jenner might have been at 4 there, but then again, I'm centered on the fence there, because it's very unfair for me to call that. However, I still wonder that Jenner would have got past Murphy, I feel, then on the back straight. Yeah, he didn't have much deployment there, did he? Jenner didn't, but I reckon that if he had a harvesting lap or two, he would have got past Murphy, I feel, because of him on those soft tires there. But the question why I'm wondering though, if he was concerned that the soft tires are going to fall off to the by the end of this race set, with just 5 laps to go in this one, and the top 3 once again only separated by about 2-3 seconds at the front there, and Morsel leads and going for his 11th race win of his season. Vintage is in the wall, and fortunately for Vintage, he hasn't damaged the car, but he's let Murphy through at that instant there. Nosey is just up in front of him as well. Nosey has been on those soft tires for about 9 laps in this one, whilst Murphy is on brand new soft compound tires. And now he is in DRS, and he is catching. I must say, that side pod camera shot is nice, but I do prefer a off-camera shot when we're watching battles down the back straight here in Baku. Hopefully they get that. Hopefully have a different camera angle next season when we're racing in Baku, which the next time the ALR will be racing in Baku will be in Season 9 of ALR Gold, I would hazard a guess then. Of course, so, and I think that that'll be Gold's round 4 of the World Championship, and also that'll be our first sprint race of the season as well. Then, of course, I assume that the season 9 of ALR will be following the official calendar. But don't quote me on that. Then we'll have to wait and see if that is the case or not. But we know, but ALR normally does that. And mainly the random calendar really throws a certain ginger, as it's too complicated for him, as he probably well attests back in season 3 of ALR, as it was very complicated week to week there. I'm watching, as I'm just watching the Mortal currently, then as he is driving beautifully well, isn't there? But why wouldn't he? He is very much on his championship celebration now, isn't he? Of course, he clinched it last week in Austin, didn't he? In fine style then. And now then, this is just a celebratory race, isn't it? And adding to his account of 11 race wins in 18 race starts here this season. Pretty impressive to say the least there for Immortal. It has been it has been absolutely mega stuff, hasn't it, for the world champion? Magnificent stuff indeed. Right, this is a good opportunity then to go through what's been occurring in the race and the final stage of this one. Then we got 12 cars remain out of the 18 that started. Siege out of the race, and he retired quite early on the race, along with Swanshanks and Kiki. They all retired in the same part of the track. Then around turn 18 and on the fast kinks to the end of the lap. Then we had Kaz, who crashed just before the castle section, turn 6 I think it was. He was out the race and brought out the first safety car. Then unfortunately KD, who's had a woeful lot of bad luck in this race, out of the race, also crashed as well. And he, I think it was at the castle section, I believe it was, wasn't there? And he brought out the second safety car, which has led us to this moment here then. And of course, some drivers pitted for soft tyres, some drivers pitted for the medium tyres, and then we also have Bacardi out of the race after him came to blows, I think, with Vintage there, which was the final, I think it was the second sector, wasn't it? There, just around turn 12 to 13 area, the high speed on turn 12 and 13, and unfortunately Bacardi out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately, which means that we just have 12 runners and riders left in this race. It is Immortal who leads the way then, who of course came from near the back of the field, that absolutely drove superbly well. Second position has been Gamer, Gamer then, of course, he's had a great fight with himself and Equals and Gamer have been fighting for most of this race, and I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed their battles. It's been brilliant to watch then. Jenner in third position then on the soft tires. Can those soft tires get to the end there for Jenner in the Alpine? And of course he is really stretching the soft tires, and they got another 3-4 laps to do in this Grand Prix. Danny in fifth position there on the hard tyres there, and I was questioning whether to stay on the hard tyres. He was one of 4 drivers to stay on the hard compound tyres, wasn't he? Danny was. It was him, the 2 Red Bulls, and there was another driver as well. I can't remember who it was now. But Danny has certainly done a great job. He's driven superbly well in this as well. He's really lighting up. He's really doing so well in the 100%, isn't he? With a podium in Australia and then a 7th position in Japan. Now here tonight in his 3rd race there. He's scored in every single race he started in 100% so far. Magnificent stuff indeed. Kaido hunting Dunn, he's second in the championship. He is hunting Danny down and trying to spoil Danny's fun then. He is on the medium tyres, so the medium tyres done 19 laps now. They might be starting to really cry in pain though at this stage then. Sickers Merck is in 7th position. Great drive from Sickers Merck. He had damaged front wing at the beginning of this race. He stuck to the hard tyres then, which didn't look the favourite tyre, did it? But Sickers Merck very much drove around that issue and then stayed on the medium tyres till now. And he's had a 3-second penalty, but that's not going to effective with Reflections there, who's in 8th position there, who in the second McLaren, 6 seconds back at about now, 23 lap old tire as well. Serious Mushroom may be interested in trying to get past Reflections here, he's gone very wide into turns of 15 there, but Serious Mushroom there, 3 seconds back at about now. He might be able to pinch this 8th position off Reflections there. Serious Mushroom there has very much been in has not been in too many battles like Serious Mushroom out there, but very much solid Grand Prix for the Haas team. We're getting more points there. Murphy on course for a superb 4th position there, but unfortunately had issues at the castle section. He is down 10th position, but he is going for fastest lap, and he's already got fastest lap then, and he's already got points as well in the Red Bull. Nosey in the 11th position there, usually sat where I'm sitting there, but tonight I'm sure he's had a lot of fun tonight, 100%. However, he may come up empty-handed in the 11th position. Vintage in 12th position in the Williams car as well. Then. So those are the 12 drivers left in at the end of this race, and of course we will be going for driver of the day as well. And of course that will be. I should put that up now. Actually, give me a second whilst I try and find the old. Try and find the old YouTube as well. So we're just on board with Immortal, just enjoying ourselves at the moment now. I don't think the Arsenal fans are enjoying themselves by the sounds of it, as they're not having a very good time by the sounds of it at this moment. And at this moment, we got 498 subscribers now. Fantastic stuff indeed. Really appreciate all you subscribing, and of course we're only 2 away now from the target of having 500 subscribers for the end of the season, which I thought, I'm going to be honest, I thought that was kind of more of a quite over optimistic target, but it really hasn't been, has it? So very good stuff indeed. Thank you very much. And a lot of that I think might be down to the shorts that Alex has been doing on YouTube as well. And so very good stuff indeed. Then. So yeah, driver of the day poll is coming up momentarily. Then you can have your say so about who you thought has done a fantastic job in this race. Then, and I think that. There's going to be might be a tough one. This one is because there's been some very good drives out there. It really has indeed that for everyone who's still in this race as well. I think everyone who's still in this race does deserve driver of the day because it's a difficult race. This one is, isn't it? As we're on the second to last lap now of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Really tough race this one's been then, but I thoroughly enjoyed it then. But I must say that I do need a lie down. So driver of the day poll has come out then. So yes, put your votes in the comments now. Yellow flag as what has happened for one of the McLarens there. It is Kai Dow has had a Kaido has had a few issues there, and I think that Sigur's Mac is now going to be all over the back of him, and that has helped. And look, I think that we've also got some end of race action here, because Jinner is struggling now because Danny on the hard tires is really limping now, isn't he? Not Danny. Jinner's really limping now, and Kaido is also had issues as well. And so this could be a very interesting end to this race. And Murphy's got past Mushroom Moon and to ninth position there. Can Jinner get to the end? And this is why he might have been desperate to get past Murphy a few moments ago, because he was limping on, wasn't he? Final lap then for Immortal. It's the final tour of Immortal, going for his 11th race win of the season then. But I think that Danny will be likely to get in a full finish then, and really, and of course, cementing as Acadia's after session, and really cementing what a great drive has been today. The drive of the day has come out then. So Immortal, Danny, Reflections, and Murphy has all got it's all been put in the votes then for driver of the day as we go into turn one then. So we've got a final bit of action then to end this Grand Prix. Now, we've had a lot of action. We've been spoiled for action these 51 laps or so in this Grand Prix. My goodness gracious me. Got to keep an eye out for Immortal then, because he is so far ahead, isn't he? I've got to make sure that he's not as far ahead as what he normally has been, but this has been a fight, hasn't it, for Immortal today. He only took the lead a couple of laps ago, hasn't he? Because it's been Gamer and Equals' show up until the latter stage of this Grand Prix. Murphy has caught up to Reflections quite quickly as well, and he could get 8th position in this one. And he is flying. There is Murphy as well. I think that Danny may run out of laps here. He's going up the inside. He's having a look there. Reflections there, covering it very nicely indeed. Well, I think that Murphy may just have a better run out of one of these traction zone corners there to really overtake that McLaren. And here he comes, and Immortal, the world champion of 100%, and is on 10 wins, and this is going to be his 11th race win in 18 starts in Baku. And now Immortal is going to win the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed there, with Gamer in second there and Equals in third position. What a great drive. What a great drive from Immortal. What an incredible battle between Gamer and Equals. Thoroughly enjoyed that as well. Here comes Jinner then really stretching those soft tires to the edge of their life and beyond. But Danny at the moment is can he get past? I don't think he can. He's going to run out of straight, I think. And he has, just about by 83 hundredths of a second there. After 51 laps there, it came down to the wire there. Oh, good stuff indeed there for Danny there. And I think that Murphy's going to run out of time as well. It's going to be similar then, I think, to Danny and Jinner here. It is indeed Murphy there. Oh, he's got him on the line there. Murphy has got him on the line. A shade of a bronze race that Murphy won a couple of years ago when I think he got the Gords on the line as well. By 2700 a second there between Murphy and Reflections there. What a close run for Noise, and Reflections going to be fuming with that one, I'm sure of it. He is not going to be a happy champion, that McLaren, is he? But Murphy there just about stole at the end there. And Serious Mushroom completes the top 10 with Vintage in 11th position and Nosey in at 12th position there. But it is Immortal, the champion there, just celebrating with another race win to make that 11 wins there in his championship winning season, 100%. And the first ever 100% champion as well in ALR. Magnificent stuff indeed. And there is Immortal then, once again, standing on top of the podium. I don't think he's ever going to get bored of this as the Immortals now. It's been an absolutely incredible season, hasn't it? But this race, he definitely did earn it there, didn't he? Because he only led for about a couple of laps. I think less than 10 laps he led in this race in the end. But it was definitely Gamer and Equals are having an absolutely great battle. A great battle indeed there, wasn't there? But in the end, Immortal sprung, just absolutely flown through, and has taken the 11th race win of the of the season in 100%. Let's go for the classification then from 100%. Then Umulto won this race by 2.6 seconds at the end. Then it was up to 4, I think, before he was doing some burnouts over the line. Then second position with Gamer in the end. Great drive from Gamer, great drive from Equals as well. Second and third, an enjoyable battle those two had. Jenner in fourth position. Fifth position was Danny, who's also was winning drive of the day, but now it's him and Murphy joint on drive of the day. Kaidala in sixth position. Seventh position, sixth is Mike. Eighth is Murphy with also fast lap as well. Stole it from Reflections right on the line at night. And Cirrus Mushroom 10th position. 11th was Vintage and 12th was Nosey. Retirements was Bacardi on his debut, unfortunately. Katie the pole sitter. As soon as the lights went out, it was a bit of a nightmare for Katie, unfortunately. Kazim retired along with KK, Swan, Shanks and Siege all retired then from the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And in the Cirrus Mushroom hashtag ping pong then. And I'm wondering if that is a bit to what happened in the opening lap then, because it was very messy indeed in the opening lap or two, wasn't it, here in Baku. My goodness me, I have I got to say I'm absolutely shattered after that. I don't know, Nosey does it every single week. Golly gosh indeed then. So the driver of the day vote is still going on then, of course. You've still got, well, you've probably got about 30 seconds then to vote then before we end the stream then. But at the moment it's the two Dans. It's Dan Murphy on 6. It is also Danny on 6 as well then. But I don't think anyone's joining me, are they? I don't think they are, which I'm not surprised by, because to be honest, I don't want to talk to me either after having 51 laps of that grueling race around Baku. I'm just making sure that no one has joined me. Has anyone joined? Actually, someone has joined me. I apologise profusely if they have. No, they aren't. All right, then. I think that's going to be it then from 100% League tonight. What an incredible race it has been so far. So far. What an incredible race it's been. A magnificent one indeed. We'll see you in a week's time as we'll be in Miami then. That's going to be a great race indeed. I'm looking forward to that one. But yes, enjoy. And we'll see you. And we'll see you for the gold race in Mexico coming on Sunday then. And then of course for gold, silver, and bronze it'll be in Mexico. And then of course we'll have a short trip down to Miami for 100%. We'll see you then. Goodbye.